Hello, Underpeel, and welcome to another night. Today we've got pretty good games set up and started. I am Brad, here with my co-host,
Hello, and I'm Alex.
and we're gonna have some great games. So, you want to go ahead and get started with talking about this first game that's going to be coming up?
Sure. This is technically our fifth seed versus our ninth seed, but for purposes of this tournament, this will be our 4 versus 8 matchup.
Yes, I
Uh,
believe this is 4 versus 8.
I think this matchup is probably gonna be one of the closer ones of this first round. I could see the 3 others ending up being potential blowouts or heavily one-sided, but this is the one matchup that I think has the potential to deliver a really, really good game.
Yeah, both teams, INT and SLR, they've both shown a lot of good games. I think that if both of them play on their A game, this is definitely going to be the most exciting match up of the night of the first round. There's some big things that I do want to talk about specifically about SLR. We've streamed them a couple times now, and coming in, we've seen a lot of times that SLR is kind of slow on the pickup. Um, what do you think about them trying to get a little faster on their game?
Hmm. I don't really know. I mean, I guess it's something they could try and do. I mean, they've kind of been in a slump lately. They started 3-0 and then have lost 3 straight heading into Masters and yet still qualified. So I don't know what the mood's going to be like. I don't know what the vibes are going to be like. It could be like really, really down. Like, hey, we've lost 3 in a row. We've kind of lucked our way into Masters, so to say. Or the other way to look at it for them could be they could just have the mindset of, hey, we're in here. No one really expects much of us anymore now. So let's just go in and have fun. And maybe they play really, really well.
Yeah, and they're hoping to get a little better in here, and I definitely agree with that. But looking to the other team, INT, we can go ahead and pull up their stats real quick. And looking at this, they've got some strong players. They've got some very high casts, which is always a great sign for teams. They're getting their assists, or they're saving when they need to.
I'm looking at one player in particular for this matchup. And that is the man on neon on your screen, Mr. Holmster. Probably one of the best shooters in all of Underpeel. I think if Holmster's having a really, really good game, oh, Int could just wind up being unstoppable. He's definitely the type of player where he could just drop a 4K and like 1v3, win a whole round, and completely turn around the momentum. So he's definitely like the player that I'm looking out for on Int tonight.
Yeah, I definitely agree. These neon players you see coming in on some of these maps, they can run in, get a kill just immediately, unexpectedly, and that gives them the momentum to keep going, keep destroying. But that is to say that SLR is also a good team, so why don't we pull up their stats as well?
Sure. I think for this team, it's kind of obvious who the standout player is, but they have like 4 really, really, really high rated players, and then they're just pub subs are one of the very few bronze players. I think like probably one of like only three actual bronze players who are on real teams this season. But if like Pub Sub starts having like an amazing game and starts playing, like at a gold player level, then that could be like absolutely huge for SLR. The one good thing about having like a low elo on your team within this like Pilo cap system that we have is that there's like an extremely high potential for them to just have like a pop off night and play like way above their Pilo level. And so if that does happen, then SLR probably just win. But if that doesn't happen, I mean, you still have four extremely high rated players.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's one of the big reasons that puts SLR in the position where they're kind of inconsistent. As we've said, they've lost the past 3 games, but that's okay because if they can get pub subs online, even just playing a Cypher or Killjoy and playing decently enough, they've got a huge advantage with these power players that they have on the team.
Yeah, I'm definitely expecting pub subs on Sentinel. Probably, yeah, probably going to be the Cypher on Pearl. I know for a fact that SLR run pubs on Cypher on Pearl, so that'll be his opportunity to shine.
Well, spoilers, but speaking of the map, we
Oh,
can pull up the bans. So as we can see here, there's been a pretty good bans now. As we have tonight, these are best of ones. So we only have sorry, these are best of threes. Are they? What?
no,
No.
these are BL1s.
No, I was a bit confused. But either way, since these are best of ones, you have a lot more bans than you'd normally get. So a lot of these teams are picking their couple worst maps rather than their absolute worst. And so because of that, I think that Pearl, both teams are going to be confident on the map, or as confident as they can be. And so I think considering that, this is going to be a fun match.
Yeah, Pearl is. I'm definitely not surprised that we're seeing Pearl, especially in like a BO1 setting like this. It feels like a map that a lot of teams are like neutral or even towards. Like it's a map that they'd like float in a BL3. Like they're pretty good at it, but like not maybe not the greatest, but they also don't like suck at it. Like there's some competence. And I think that's probably the case for both of these teams. And I think that's why we ended up with Pearl as the map between these two.
I think that's a good take as well. A lot of teams have been pretty bad on Pearl, from at least what I've casted and observed. But I haven't seen SLR or INT on Pearl, so hopefully they can be on their A games today.
I've seen I think I've seen both teams on Pearl. I know I've seen Int for sure play on Pearl. And I'm pretty sure I've seen SLR. I don't remember too much about those matchups, unfortunately. The only thing I remember was that on a defense, I'm pretty sure Pub Subs mostly played on A, but I could be wrong about that. But maybe they've changed some things up. That was like the one thing that I remember. Other than that, I don't remember too much. We might see a neon. I think
Hopefully.
probably I'm expecting a neon from at least one of these teams. maybe even both. And then as far as the other agents, I have no idea. I mean, I have a reasonable guess, but I don't quite know for sure.
Well, you don't have to guess anymore because guess what? Teams are in agent select. And here it is. Yoru
Okay, I was
Vise.
completely wrong about that. Oh,
Well,
well,
as expected, both teams are playing Vise, the premier Sentinel on Pearl, especially recently. But what's your opinion on the Yoru pick?
I really like it. I think Yoru's just like one of the best duelists in meta right now, especially on Pearl. I think he's probably far and away just the best, especially in coordinate. I mean, we see it in VCT. And is that a harbor I
Harbor?
see?
Okay, it's got to be a troll. It's got to be a troll hover.
No, there's a
Since
chance this gets locked.
if Harbor gets locked as a solo smoke, I might throw my headset out the window.
I don't think it's
But
solo smokes. I think I could, if it's harbor. Oh,
yeah, Fade is the much better pick here. Fade, yes, Astra, as expected. This is going to be almost a mirror comp, but unfortunately, we don't get to see the mirror Yoru.
oh, and it was a troll. I
As
was.
expected.
I mean, was holding out hope. Anytime I see a harbor, I always want it to get picked. But both of these comps make a lot of sense in 2025.
Yeah, Astra has gotten so much better after a few months ago. They increased her stars. Teo, on the other hand, I think is one of the more interesting picks. He's really great for pushing on to B and A both, but in my opinion, he gives up a lot of the value that KO does. So when you have the double initiator fade Teo rather than Teo KO, I think it can give up a little too much value at times for me.
I just am of the opinion that in coordinated, if you know how to play Tejo well, you just will do really, really well. Like we've seen it in VCT, the teams that know how to play Tejo and are really good on Tejo tend to do well. But we'll see if SLR can replicate that because this is Underpeel. This isn't VCT, so we're gonna have to find out. But if SLR can like run this tail fade really, really well, then yeah, they probably just gonna win.
Yeah, the combo between Teo and Fade is absolutely incredible for a lot of maps. Lotus, Bind, even. You're seeing a few comps with Teo and Fade. But Pearl is very wide open. And there's not that many places where the Teo Fade combo gets too much value, except for when you're pushing on defense, I think. So if we don't see any aggression on this defense half by SLR, I'm going to be a bit angry because if they don't, I feel like KO once again just would have been the better pick.
If SLR get the bomb down on B with all 5 in the plant spot and plant for main with this comp, the round's probably just over.
Oh
Because
yeah,
their comp is
100%.
like you're not winning that round.
Fade, Yoru, best post plant characters in the game. In reality,
Astra,
the big issues are Astra and Teo,
Vice.
but
The one thing about both of these comps is that it's not the double duelist that a lot of teams like to run in Underpeel, especially on Pearl as well. I know like there are a couple of teams that like really, really love the double duelist. So it's kind of nice that we're seeing solo duelists.
yep. And now I believe we're gonna get into the map itself starting. But on top of that, great, but it's hard to find that value on specific timings sometimes. Starting off this round, it's looking like a pretty decent default by INT here.
Now it looks like we're gonna have...
Oh, there's the aggression.
Slow default. Teho Rockets used immediately. Fight in mid, and it's one out by Yoru.
Yeah, that's the aggression coming out. INT forced to group up in main, but they're gonna be spotted with Theodrone. At least two people.
Theodrone's gonna spot them out. And just still slowly walking up A. Here's a lurk.
Oh, the contact setup.
Through. Street. Spotted.
Oh.
Shots, no kills. Teo finds one, traded out. Two more come out from the defense, and suddenly Teo's all alone. That'll be the pistol over to SLR.
Yeah, wow, once again, just as I expected, SLR got aggressive, got that early pick with Yoru, got out, and at that point it was a 5v4 for INT. They weren't ready for that. They weren't ready for their default to just get obliterated like that by that Teo push. And that's where the power comes in. They have the pistol round, and now all INT have got to do is get a couple guns, and with this push into into street here, they might be able to get that value.
Yeah, we'll see what INT can pull off on this eco. It looks like it's going to be pushed through mid. Straight through streets. Astra Smoke goes up.
Oh, there's the
traded. Stinger down. Will be retrieved by INT as they marching straight over into the A site. I think that's just Fade here. Fade finds two. Spike down on A. 2v4 now. The last shot misses. Second one connects. It's a 1v4, and that should easily be the second round on the board for SLR.
Oh? Great kill there. Oh, good dink too. Hey, in the end, not a bad eco round by INT. They got the early pick and they had that opportunity to win, but they couldn't quite find the value. Oh, this is a cool Fade lineup. I mean, Vise lineup. Probably for an A main stall setup. This is great, but INT with the guns now, opting for a typical B hit. It makes sense. They have a good comp for it. The Jet Astra Fade is going to give them pretty easy start here, I think.
Looks like it's going to be another mid walk up for Booker.
And once again, you see these Astra Stars coming into street here. It just helps them defend so well. I mean, INT is just going to be completely stopped by these, I believe.
Yeah, and INT have been trying to take the street, I think, every round now. They've at least gone into the entrance of it. Johan to find one. Numbers advantage in favor of INT on this bonus round. Looks like they're going to take that straight into the B site. Johan to find another. Find a third on for the ace now.
Needs two more.
Numbers advantage. One down, but instantly traded by Lemons. And will go down. It's a 1v4, and that will be a pretty clean bonus conversion for INT.
That was pretty reasonable, keeping 4 guns alive. I think the mid walk was a little questionable when they honestly could have reasonably hit B, but it worked out well. And they were able to do it.
Someone buy That's awesome.
And we're heading into clear comms.
Surely they don't buy an outlaw now. Get all of it.
Can you blend us up here? Vice?
Yeah, run over their pubs.
They have started mid again.
I can flash it for Nate. Let's just wait a little.
Yeah, I can actually. Oh, I got 3 nice.
Didn't get. I backed it.
You dog this up.
Yeah, I'm going behind the bug.
There's one towards art mid. Teo just droned us. We gotta go now if we're gonna go. I'm not smoking
I'm
secret,
flashing,
okay?
Yeah, I'm gonna eye high.
Art and flowers are smoked. Let's go.
Flashing. Ready?
3, 2, 1. Top.
Dead.
I'm thief, we're
Out,
thief.
one.
Do you want to
We
rotate? Do you have a flash?
should try to rotate. Let's just rotate. I think we should rotate, yeah.
You're
be up
here,
mid,
Taylor's
careful.
here.
Could be flanked open, flanked open.
We just gotta go fast if we're gonna rotate here.
Yeah.
Push here.
Cash up.
I have 2 stars.
Five, 5.
That's like perfect timing. Perfect.
Okay. I'm gonna eye, okay?
Yeah, I can only smoke Kevin, alright?
I'm right there. I'm swinging it, smokes.
Wall.
You guys are stuck on the wall. Okay, we can't come to you.
One health.
One fun. Oh.
Spike down.
I weave.
There's one more straight tail.
One street, one spawn.
I'm trying to plant safe. Can you hold?
Player standing.
Tail out the smoke.
Okay. Bro, if I don't whiff on the Euro, we win that. I should have pulled something. Or I pulled the star on Arc.
You see?
Arc? That's fine.
You gotta get 2 there.
I'm the one. I don't know why you didn't. What do you mean?
Wow, pretty good clear comms and a great round too. It was an A exec that turned into a B exec, but kind of fell apart once Homester obliterated
Up I go.
those 2 people who went onto site. That was wonderful. But now, I mean, once again, INT back to a simple default, but SLR pushing.
They are pushing fast, and the SLR still have a buy. I'm not sorry, INT still have a buy, which is very nice for them. Usually they're on an eco,
Spike
but
down A.
it's gonna be just Ghost to find the opening kill.
Yeah, that setup there, holding that was honestly crazy. That was a nice shot.
And I just realized that the teams are reversed. So that is actually INT that are up 3-1, not SLR. I just noticed that.
Oh, this judge setup, no. Oh,
Spike down.
oh no. What are you gonna do against that? Master with the judge. He's getting obliterated. Why are you swinging out of that?
Concealment. 30 seconds left.
Wow.
I have the spike.
This is stuck behind a rock in a hard place, but Homester's dead. And now it's a 2v2. Annihilation might come out as they plant spike, but
10
maybe
seconds.
close. Mama's gotta go down. Got 7 seconds
Player
left.
standing.
Oh, and the blank comes out, and the tail mollies come out. And that's the round up for INT. Honestly, SLR, INT is looking good. They've got
Feeling
great
generous?
setups. You saw the judge setup. Right
No
there,
targets.
close. It was devastating. And that goes to show that SLR need to change up what they're doing. They keep going mid, but they can't break through this.
Checking the situation.
They love streak, but
them
they
down.
just can't quite do it. They want to get this default mid out, they want to take this mid space, but
Yeah,
their options are limited.
they are just going through mid every single time. And it hasn't really worked out too well for SLR. This is going to be a fast hit onto the A site. Johan's going to dash up. You have sight. And are going to play retake. 2 kills found on the eco. Suddenly this round looks very, very doable.
Blank.
And the
Oh,
plant is
Spike down
stopped.
A.
And another kill found. One member is low though. But they need to get bomb down, and this lurk's gonna go absolutely huge. Lemons to find a mock. Now all of a sudden numbers are an advantage for INT.
oh my gosh.
Trade out though by Johan though. We're back to a 2v2. That's gonna be a rifle retrieved. Even numbers. But are they prepared for Booker pushing back
30 seconds left.
out into A lane with this outlaw? Great angle finds the first.
Spike down.
Can he find the
Attacker spawn.
second? No, he
Last
cannot.
player standing.
1v1.
Oh, not the flank coming out.
Hold time in here. Go absolutely huge. Fade out gonna be sent out. Spots nothing. Plant's gonna go down. We're gonna have a 1v1 retake.
Oh, a perfect plant to deny the Astra Star value. But does he know? I think he might.
Checking the angles, playing post plant. From our
Perfect Astra Wall, though.
yeah.
Oh,
Interruptions.
wow. What a masterclass that was. That is how you play Astra, folks. And that's what INT up 5-1. SLR had such a good round, but it all fell apart after that fast flank. After that fast flank from Homester, it destroyed them, and now INT is getting desperate. They need some space in the mains. They keep going mid, and they keep going mid, and they're just not able to push through.
Yeah, it looks like we're finally gonna have a change up from SLR. It's just gonna be a 5-man B rush. Fade Dog gonna be sent out. Just go solo on this site. If SLR fast hit, they could have a really, really good timing. Ice wall will be triggered. Oh, and it's they have to back out.
Yeah, the rotates have
Smoke
already
goes
come
up.
out from INT.
Just patiently waiting down for A. Oh, Visal to be sent out. Spots a couple. Flash.
Perfect blindside.
Trade comes out.
Obscuring vision.
SLR finally find a man advantage in one of these rounds. There has Visal there. And it's just goes to find 2. Looked like a really, really good round. Now suddenly they
Last
find themselves in
player
a
standing.
numbers disadvantage. More comes from Lemon, and what was a great start just ends up an absolute disaster as they get no more kills the rest of the round, and INT get all the way up to 6. And if I'm SLR, I'm probably thinking of calling a timeout because this is starting to get out of hand.
I agree. They're letting INT run away with the game because their retakes have not been strong at all. INT has just been able to back off of site on A, back up off of site on B, and then slam on the retake. And SLR is hurting.
Yeah, they're hurting. Looks like they're going to try exploring mid again, which is something they did every round prior up until the previous one, and the full B hit didn't work, so I guess why not try it again? But Booker's going to say absolutely no to that. Absolutely destroying Johan. Now they're going to have to win this round on worse guns and a 4v5. Fade here. They do find it, though. They find the crucial pick, and that should be the speed up to head into a pretty open A site right now.
Oh, the Fade Dog doesn't see him. Oh
Fade
no!
Dog doesn't see him. Flank, do they know?
Oh no!
One enemy remaining.
Oh, the
Spike
flank
down
from
A.
Lemons goes absolutely huge, and what looked like a chance for the round is left with another 1v4 for SLR and what should be 7 on the board for INT.
I believe they have gotten flanked
30 seconds left.
on A, every single round that they've lost on A.
I think you might unironically be right about that. I'm pretty
They're
sure
not
you
able to
are.
hold it. Oh, and there it is.
Yeah.
This is looking bad. They need to take a breath and slam a sight. They're losing because the space that they're taking is getting recleared quickly. I believe that INT is playing this well. They're falling back when the tide pushes them back, and they're slamming back in when the tide is over, right? And SLR needs to realize that they need to get either more aggressive or more passive. But they can't keep doing what they're doing. Because look at this. Just slamming down A main, getting a free orb.
It looks like SLR just doing a 5-man 8-man. 5-man hit it. 5-man 8 hit it didn't work, and this isn't working either. 2 immediate kills to come out third. It's just an absolute bloodbath in A main right now. There's a knock left in another 1v4. And I think SLR
being able to
call
place
a timeout.
Homester into that corner was devastating for INT. INT couldn't do much about it because of the Astra smoke, because of the recalled Astra smoke, but they couldn't dodge the flashes, so they all died to a Yoru flash.
Yoru flash best ability in the game. Obviously, I was joking on that one. Looks like SLR going back for this full A hit again. I mean, everything they tried just hasn't worked, so why not try it again? Oh! Bam through the smoke, finds the opening kill they need. That should be bombed down, and some really, really strong post-plant positions. Finally, a man up. Spotted flank coming through. Ooh. Push up from INT.
They have
flowers. Mock to find another one. Roll gonna be used. Trades. Mock.
One enemy remaining.
After all of that, it's left a 1v2 for Lemons. Around, spotted in the corner, cannot find the kill, and SLR finally stopped this momentum from INT and get their second on the board.
Wow. Finally. This could be exactly what SLR needs to pull back that momentum. And I don't think INT is going to make the same mistake of holding buys is solo 1A again. Now, to be fair, SLR does not have a KO ult. So, since they don't have that, they're going to have to rely on
If it worked once, why not try it again? SLR doing the same exact strat they've been doing the last 2 rounds, just 5-man down A main. A lot more presence though here, some early aggression coming out from INT to try and stop this, because they have the read. That's what they've been doing the last couple of rounds. Spam behind the box, fade out to come out. Homester to find one, Homester to find another. Finally traded out by Pubsubs, but SLR once again find themselves in another man disadvantage, and look at the flank coming out from Booker and Lemons. SLR are absolutely boxed in right now. Nowhere to go. Nowhere to hide.
Well, the only way to go is forward, isn't it?
This one swings out Orangers to find the kill. Numbers advantage even again. The late A main lurk is still there for Booker. Players in R. Lemons to find oh! Amok with another one. And all of a sudden, the lurkers left alone in 1v2. This round finds one, finds the second. Oh my goodness. And just when it looked like things were going well for SLR, Booker's there to win a huge clutch. 9 on the board for INT.
A muck with a very clean clip there in the 2v1. But it wasn't quite enough because the flank keeps coming out. SLR has been absolutely dominated over and over again by these flanks coming out. Booker, half of Booker's kills feel like they're from the flanks.
Looks like it's going to be 5-man once again, and this time it does work out. Johan to find a beautiful first pick on to Holmster, but not much more than after that. Finally going to start taking this A main space. We are on site. Taeho's going to stop them in their tracks though. Just goes to the kill. Astro comes out as well. Spike is down in an absolute awful spot right now. Spam coming through the mugs to stall them. They're gonna have to find a way to try and get this spike. Astro Smoke to come out, just goes to find another. Trade does come out from Pub Subs though, 3v3. And it looks like they're just gonna start heading straight back into B, but Booker should be hearing all of this right now.
Oh no.
He could have an absolutely gorgeous timing. That looks like it's exactly what's about to happen right now. In a beautiful off angle, hearing all 3 cross right now. He should be relaying that to his team right now. And yeah, the instant rotates coming out through, and he'll have an awesome flank. Late flank coming out through B-Bane that SLR looked to be absolutely unaware of. Fatal comes out on site, but Booker's right behind them. This should be an easy pick. 1, 2, 3 lemons to get the third, but another absolutely beautiful flank coming out from in and a dominant first half.
When SLR was defaulting, they defaulted way too far to mid. When when SLR was full rushing, they didn't leave a lurker. Overall, neither of the strategies that SLR played this game so far have worked out. So hopefully, what they can do is they can hunker down, but with how fast INT has been playing this game, is that even gonna happen? That's the question.
Yeah, and I'm kind of worried about this SLR defense against this attack. Because they have the Taeho and the Jet. Trade coming out in mid. Amok to find 2. SLR with the numbers advantage. Bomb will get a free... Oh no, tap with the spike. Oh, Amok to find the third on for the ace. Zenin to find the last 2, and that is exactly what SLR needed if they want to start this amazing comeback.
Hey, a pistol round's where it starts, because now SLR are up for this round. They have guns. They're hopefully going to be able to destroy INT, and keep enough guns to hopefully win a third round. That's all they can hope for, because INT is not going to make it easy. Their eco rounds are monstrous.
Yeah, SLR really need just a clean anti-eco right now. Looks like it's going to be 5-man push-up through mid.
Wow.
For INT.
Can't believe Splatter.
Yeah. Ooh. Do they know about Zenin though? Zenin's in a great spot. Should be hearing all of this noise. Should have a pretty good idea that all 5 are here. Or at least 3+. And just staying near Canal. Finally now slowly making their way up. Zenin's holding this angle though. Gonna be absolutely ready for it if Lemons decides to cross through.
This is an interesting play.
Yeah, just still waiting, and it looks like that's what SLR are willing to do as well. A very, very slow round.
Hey, and you know what? If I was INT here, I'd be playing these same exact positions, because what is SLR gonna do except full hit B, I guess? Here it comes. Is Pub Subs ready?
Pub Subs should have a good idea now that all 5 are here. Has to be aware. Ooh, Johan to find 1, Pub Subs to find 2. Lemons to finally get a trade, but this is looking to be a very, very clean anti-eco coming from SLR. 1 enemy remaining, just Splatter all left alone. Does pick up the Stinger though, but position spotted, and Zenin's there for the kill. Really, really clean from SLR, and it gives them a chance to now win this bonus and potentially start this comeback.
Yeah, finally. I mean, they've got 2 rounds up on the half. All they need to do is get one more, and I think they might be in the clear because despite INT having a wonderful attack, their defense might start to fall apart here. Yoru is great if you can get aggressive, once again. But the problem is that with Yoru on attack, combined, the team comp that INT has doesn't synergize nearly as well with the Yoru unless you're hitting B, which, I mean, that's exactly what they're doing, so we'll just have to see what happens.
Looks like Yeon's gonna be holding aggressive angle B jump spot, will spot him out. Still holds the angle. Astrosmoke to go out, Fade Dog to use up. Johan dashes back into sight. This looks like it's just gonna be a 4-man slam. Booker to find a kill on the lurk though, traded out by Amok. Looks like we're gearing up for a B hit, most likely, unless we decide to completely back up and head over to the A site. Still just sitting around in B main for sure. Johan with that deep outlaw angle in B main. Now finally starting to walk up.
Oh, and Amok's on the flank
like-
here.
Yeah, Amok on the flank here. In starting to head back. Amok should be hearing this. They know about the person behind the box. Now they do, but Splatter's good for the kill. Is that the signal for INT to now re-hit B again? It looks like it is. Both members on the flank starting to
gosh.
regroup up. Orange pushing up though. Oh, just
30
Ghost
seconds
is
left.
there. 2v4 now. Numbers advantage in favor of INT. They push into the B side. Amok will find one instantly.
shot.
Subs for the trade, but Holmester's there. INT stabilize and get up to 11.
The op is coming out by SLR. And so is Claycoms.
All good. Buy what you can. We're forcing out the rest of this game. Can't really afford to give up rounds at this point.
If you want to,
Call
you
for
could
the
go,
smoke
like,
on B because I don't want to fuck
something,
you up again.
Like cringe. No, okay.
Fuck it on mid. I'm gonna walk out.
They're start there.
This is
They're
here.
actually started them though.
Bring them down.
Oh, I think
I'm greedy.
All
Yours,
right.
I'm greedy.
All your mid top.
I think our street is all
The
good.
fight is lurking. Yeah, I'll hold up and shoot in the top. Mid.
That's the plan.
It's just still a mid. Only lurker.
I'm gonna flash. Nothing.
They flashed like mid or A. I don't even know anymore.
Vice was mid top.
They might be going to A, dude. I don't hear shit.
They recalled B, but that was it. No one crossed. I can knife him, man.
I don't think there's anything B right now.
Yeah, they broke knife him, man.
They're going there.
I'm smoking. I can't really help at all.
And
Wait, like 90 on yours, 40 on safe.
Launching thorns. Thorns are alive. Wall tripped.
Fuck me.
Alright. We ready?
Yeah. They're gonna be worrying about flank right now.
Flashing. They broke it.
Urge.
They're gonna double swing. Holy shit, whip. 2 main.
Two man, sure. Save the op.
Yeah, at this point, get out.
Yeah,
At
no
this point, get
time,
out.
no time.
Run away, pubs.
Careful
Careful
you
of your
can go for it.
mid.
Could be
You're saving the Spectre if you want. Right?
Maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah, just get that. Watch out top mid. They're gonna be there probably. Nice pubs.
I got
All
one.
good. It's okay.
One is not that bad.
Match
Alright, come
point.
back to man.
Well, as Chinua Achebe would say, things fall apart, and it's falling apart in front of SLR's eyes right now. Despite Johan getting the early pick with the op, INT with the slow A rotate is finishing them off. It's 4-12. And it's looking kind of hopeless, but it is still possible for SLR to pull something out here.
Yeah. Looks like INT are gonna start off with all 5 members in A main. Slowly starting to clear that. They're gonna start to push up Orangers. Pushed up, holding the angle, backs off. Spots one player. Smoke to come out. Keone used. Late flank now coming out from SLR, doing the same thing INT did to them. This could go absolutely huge if Amaka's able to find the right timing, but no, Lemons is there to sniff it out. And that could be the signal for INT to just straight up start heading to B site if they have the read that SLR are stacked on A, but it looks like it's just going to be a pause into the round. Homesters slowly starting to clear through mid. Rotations coming out from SLR. Booker going to be left alone in A main, and once again, another INT attack run that's going to slow down to a absolute snail's pace. We'll swing out
left.
from mid, spots one. Flash
Spotter's
coming out. Astral coming out. KO missiles used. It should be a free plant for INT. 5v4 post plant. Senin to able to equalize the numbers. There is still a chance for SLR. This could be pretty tough. Find one. Yo! To find two though. And suddenly this retake is looking very much alive for SLR. 2 players left in the B main though. Adolf's gonna come out. Diffuse gonna be just held down by Pubs. And who they know finds the first, finds the second, splatter the 3K to close out the match in style, and INT with a dominant performance on Pearl.
Wow. That was a good map for INT.
Yes, for INT, I was about to say.
Honestly, I didn't expect things to go so badly for SLR so fast. But I really think throughout their attack half, they made quite a few mistakes. They could have played it so much better. And I think it saddens me a bit. But knowing that they're going to take this game and improve from it, see what they've done, it can be a good thing as well for them. Even though it's a lost game, it's still something to learn off of.
One thing I am surprised about is that I know if SLR were just so into the match that they forgot they had timeouts. Or I don't know, but I was expecting them to use some of their timeouts at one point, especially once it got to match point. That kind of confused me a bit, but I don't know. I feel like they needed to use a timeout at like some point. When I think it was like 7-1 at one point, that probably should have been a timeout, and especially at match point, I feel like they should have immediately called a timeout.
Yeah, a lot of teams seem to be very averse to playing timeouts. Neither INT didn't really need to take one, but SLR had many opportunities. But either way, it's okay for SLR. They can still recover. There's more of Underpeel. And I suppose we want to go to break?
Yeah.
All right, this is Under. Hello,
Well-
and we're back, Underpeel. Once again,
Welcome
I'm
back.
Brad with my co-host.
Hello, I'm Alex. We have some score updates for you, at least one score update. Granada won 13-3 against CROC. We're waiting for the other two matches now. TOTS versus Nerd and WIA versus FAFO.
Yeah, what are the two current scores right now?
TOTS are currently down 7-10 to Nerd right now. WIA and FAFO, it is currently match point for FAFO as they are leading over WIA 12-10. These would be two pretty sizable upsets if they were to happen. FAFO beat WIA would be kind of unexpected.
Yeah, I agree. FAFO has been pretty consistent.
And
Very
after
nice.
all the reshuffling, these are the number 2 and number 3 seeds technically for this Masters. WIA did win a round, so it's now 11-12. A quick reminder that CROC, their Radiant player, is out for TOTS, and he's like a massive part for their success. So it is understandable why this is happening. He's kind of like their Giga Raid boss. Like he's like Raid boss plus. Currently Immortal Radiant Peak, I'm pretty sure.
Same thing totally. There's no difference between Immortal 2 and Radiant.
TOTS are the number 2 seed as well. So,
Hey, well, the winner of these two games is going to be the stream that we're watching, so it's going to be a fun one either way, because either way you've got an upset a team who's an underdog who's won, or you've got the strong teams.
8-10 tots, but enough about that. Let's talk about our next match. Granada versus INT. Granada are looking like they've been all season. The dominant force in Underpeel. 13-3 against tots. I think probably rightfully the favorites to win this Masters. And probably the favorites over INT.
Keep in mind, this isn't the streamed game, but still exciting to talk about.
Yeah.
I think for sure that GRAN is going to win. I don't think it's that much of a question in my mind, but with the performance that INT had today, and this being a best of one, anything can really happen.
Yeah, that is true. I don't know if INT would want to pick Pearl again, though, despite them winning, because Granada have a very, very strong Pearl.
Well, just another update here. FAFO is at overtime now. So WYA is putting up a good fight here.
Hold on. Let me see.
Let you see.
Is anyone streaming the match?
You're looking for someone else's stream while we're streaming Underpeel?
Yes. I know that. Let's see. I know Lav normally streams, but let's see. No, I can't access that.
You know, something tells me maybe nobody is streaming.
Yeah, which is really unfortunate because usually there are streams. But right now we just have to wait and see.
Speaking of waiting and seeing, I want to wait and see how this game of GRAN versus INT goes. I think considering that INT played well, if they can get a map that favors them, which is completely possible because of the best of one ban, then GRAN might be on their back feet starting off the game. And that's already a big advantage because with that advantage, they can build momentum, right? It's the thing that INT did today, as we just saw. Wow, apparently WYA is now up 13-12 against FAFO.
Apparently, Olam has a feed somehow, so I will give you some live up, and it's gone. Oh no, it's back.
Alex, what do you think about the upcoming game of GRAN versus INT?
I think the ban strategy should be try and take immediately ban split. That should be the first ban. Do not take Granada to split or Pearl, is my opinion, because they are really, really, really good on those two maps. I don't know how much. I don't know if they've played Fracture at all. I know INT have played Fracture. I don't know how much Lotus Granada have. I know they've played it once because they played it in the first Masters. I think maybe just trying to take Granada to a map that they haven't played a lot would probably be the best. So maybe like a Fracture angle if it's not banned, but for sure just getting rid of Split and Pearl should in my opinion, would be the best ban strategy for any team going against Granada.
Yeah, it's a bit saddening. I just stabbed my finger, but that's okay. It's a bit saddening. I need to go get
WIA
I need to go get a napkin. I'm sorry.
WIA have completed the comeback. They pull it out and win in OT 14-12. So WIA pulling it back, somehow finding a way and getting the win. And the only match we're waiting on right now to finish up is just the TOTS nerd match.
I'm back and I heard TOTS nerd match. So it's already over technically, but
Yes,
we're waiting for
on
the scores to be put in. And then as soon as scores are put in, the next game will be announced. So considering this, right? Last we heard, TOTS was up 8-10. I imagine, or sorry, TOTS was down 8-10. So considering this,
I'd imagine they
who do you
lost.
think is going to win? You imagine TOTS lost?
I think
I'd
TOTS
like to
lost.
believe they won.
In the time frame that we got the score update, it is 7 minutes, and they were down 8-10.
You can win 5 rounds in 5 minutes.
Yeah, Nerd 13-8 over TOTS. So it's going to be Nerd versus Granada, which
what
is kind of a... wait. Actually, we don't quite know yet.
It's going to be Nerd versus WYA.
Oh, Nerd versus WIA. Okay.
Yep. So that's the next game. What are your first thoughts when you hear Nerd versus WIA?
I don't honestly know. That is a matchup I was not expecting to get tonight. Nerd are kind of like an under the radar Underpeel team because I don't know if they've even been on stream yet this season. If they have,
I don't think they have.
Yeah, I don't think they have either. If they have, it's been once. I kind of really don't know a lot about them. So
what we're saying is they're the underdogs.
Yes. WIA probably are the favorites in this matchup.
I'm going to agree. WIA has been very dominant, but they did just come back to beat FAFO as well. So considering that, they're going to be emboldened. They're going to have good confidence coming into this game. So especially against a team that we haven't seen very much, Nerd, it could very well be that WIA can just slam. But considering that Nerd won against TOTS, it is also very possible that Nerd has been a kind of more of a dark horse sitting in the background.
Yeah, I mean, but not having CROC for like one of the most important tournaments, like TOTS are clearly not at full strength as well. And technically it was they had 2 subs though, but one's a permanent sub. So they were technically playing with only 3 of their core members from the beginning of the season. So it's surprising, but like it's not too surprising. Like it's hard for me to find what to take away from that matchup. And it's also kind of hard to take away a lot from the WIA versus FAFO matchup because I think due to like some circumstances that happened over the past 2 weeks, I don't think FAFO were gonna make Masters 2, but after two teams had to drop out for different reasons, I'm pretty sure they got in. So
Hey,
I
well,
honestly don't know what to expect. I have a slight idea of maybe what WIA will play for their comps depending on the map, but I'm kind of going into this matchup pretty blind, so
well, yeah, I suppose just to remind you and also some of our viewers who exactly are on these teams, we have on WIA, Globe, of course, and Grash, both two pretty prolific players, I think, in Underpeel this season. Globe has done really good, better than his rank for sure, and that's saying something because he's already relatively high elo. I believe he's diamond. Or fact check that, please. But on top of that, WIA has kind of a lower PLO. They don't quite have the cap that some other teams have. So considering this, WIA's been at a slight disadvantage, I'd say, for this time. While on the other hand, though, Nerd are a good bit below PLO cap. They have Prod, and they have Fikraz. Fikraz is our prior low elo player. I believe he's a plat now, actually.
I believe you're correct on that.
So someone who's gone up in ranks, very good. Someone that's been shown to improve. And as a team as a whole, Nerd might also be shown as a team to improve. That's what I'm hoping, because otherwise it won't necessarily be nearly as fun, right?
Yeah. What map would you want to see? Like, just out of
Me
like, if you had to
personally,
choose a match to watch in like a BO1 in like a tournament like this.
well, me personally, I would love to see Sunset, except for the part where Sunset is not in the map rotation. But if we're talking actual map rotation, my favorite map would be Split. It's always been so interesting. It's always been one of the biggest upstart maps as well. Some teams that you don't expect to win have had some really great games on Split just because of the ability to work the middle of the map is so varied. And despite the fact that you really want to hit mid basically every round in Split, the different strategies you can use to do that are very surprising considering how small of a lane it is.
Hmm. And with that, we have the stats ready for you guys. So,
for WIA, I believe.
yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, I was wrong on the globe part, but that's fine. No wonder he plays much better than a diamond. He's immortal.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I think the two players I'm looking out for are Globe and Annika. I think Annika can be a super underrated player. Like, if Annika's popping off, she can absolutely just start destroying games. I think, honestly, the core of Annika, Globe, Grash, and Scott is like super powerful. And Space is a super underrated low elo player. I was watching Space play versus Bill a couple days ago, and Space was hitting some absolutely insane shots and getting some insane multi kills. So I'm kind of excited to see if Space can keep that up.
Yeah. Like all the bronzes, of course, she is inconsistent, but if you can get that day where she's powerful, you can destroy. But enough about WIA. Let's look at the underdogs of this match. Nerd, please. Let's pull up their stats.
Oh, actually, Nerd have been on stream. I remember this team now. The obvious standout player is Frogfurger. Frogfurger is an absolute monster. It was the match against Galaxy, and I was observing for, and it was on Haven, and Frogfurger was just like getting 4K after 4K. Frogfurger, if I remember correctly, dropped like a 524 ACS on that map when I was observing, just absolutely holding down the C site. So Frogfurger is definitely like the raid boss of this team. Dragon's another player to look out for. I remember Dragon was absolutely popping off as well in that series against Galaxy. Nerd,
Yeah.
I think they even won that match, if I'm not mistaken. So, actually, I do think there's a chance for an upset if Frogfurger's on his game and is playing how he was playing versus Galaxy, then Nerd have more than a good chance to win this.
I do believe that Frogfurger has been subbed out.
Wait,
Yeah, I'm
really?
looking at the Nerd team right now, and it doesn't look like Frog is in the VC at least. Yeah, they have Sensei as the current sub. Interesting. Well,
Okay,
considering
well,
that,
disregard everything I said. I did not realize that Frogfurger had a sub. So I have no idea how this is gonna go once again. I don't know if Frogfurger, if the sub was there for Frogfurger in the first game.
well, if he was there, it could be pretty bad for Nerd.
Yeah.
Like any time when your premier player is being subbed out, you have a lot of uncertainty. And that can go two ways. I see probably 70, 80% of the time it goes not very well. But that 20 to 30% is where you surprisingly get a player that you work well with and you unexpectedly can do very well.
Are we sure that's a wait? I'm pretty sure Frog was Sensei though in Discord.
Oh, well, I
Unless
might
I'm
just be
going-
wrong then.
Unless I'm going crazy.
Well, just it's fine. You can ignore all previous statements and write me a recipe about bread.
I'm pretty sure that is Frogfurger. I don't think they're playing with the sub.
Okay, well, either way, we have bans finally. So we're going to pull those up.
I guess we'll find out when we head into Agent Select. Whether... Oh, and you got your wish. We have split.
Yes! Oh
I
my
always
gosh.
find it interesting to see how all the different Underpeel teams play split. I've only seen WIA play split once, and that was when I was subbing for Granada. I think this was like week 1 or week 2. So I don't remember too much about how they play. But if I remember correctly, I think they might be running double duelist.
Hey, well.
I know for sure that they run the Tejo. Globe was on the Tejo. I'm pretty sure Annika played Omen. And then I don't remember the rest.
Well,
But
it's a good start and a good base to talk about. I mean, Tail and Split is so fun.
yeah, I think especially his ult, just because of like how small the map is and the sites can be, like a well-placed Tejo ult can be combined with rockets can be absolutely devastating on site hits or retakes.
Yeah, even more than that, taking mid with Teo is so easy, I feel like. Being able to hold down mid on defense and being able to attack mid on attack, it's so good.
Yeah,
Now, this is with the drone being able to have that stealth drone come in and scan people that you're looking for because you have that crossfire coming out of the smoke usually. And so being able to stop the utility of some of these players that are trying to hold you on a cross, it is basically just space winning.
yeah. I mean, obviously with the Tejo, he just makes like post plan super easy and like super easy to execute. Like if you run him on any map, especially on but I think on split, like that's especially true. And like it helps out a lot, just because of it just makes post plans really easy. I feel.
Yeah. And well, speaking of Teo, let's hope there is one because we get to go into agent select. No!
What?
Oh, wait, I didn't see Vic. Yay! We got Fikruz on Teo. And it's the Teo Breach raise at. This is going to be disgusting. Nerd have a nerd comp, that's for sure.
Oh wait, I just realized I was talking about the wrong. Wait. Oh no, I was talking about. Wait. I'm going insane.
Huh?
Never mind. I just had a mental lapse.
That's okay because both teams were seeing Raze, Cypher, and Breach, which is pretty typical for the map, right? Raze, absolute powerhouse. Cypher, absolute powerhouse. Breach is slightly less picked, but still very, very strong, especially when paired with Teo. Now, WA has decided to go the other direction with instead of having the control comp, they have the speed comp. They have the Omen Jet, which Omen Breach Jet is one of the fastest combos you can get on this map, especially with the Raze. But on the other hand, Nerd have one of the most locked down comps of anything that you can get on this map. So combined, you have an unstoppable force versus an immovable object, right? We're going to have to see if WIA on attack can break through Nerd on defense here.
Yeah, and the WIA comp is a little bit different from what I remember. So it's going to be the Breach now instead of the Teo. which I don't know when they switched that up, since the time frame between when I last saw their split to now is like so long, but that is a change up from what I remember. I always find it fascinating when one team has a Teo and one team doesn't, just to see how like the non-Teo team deals with the other team having a Teo. I think that's something I always look out for when looking at comps now.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. And seeing this, it is going to be kind of hard to react to WIA's comp, but Nerd, on the other hand, have something very robust. So I think it's definitely WIA that's going to be on the back foot here to start the game, because once again, the aggression by WIA is not going to give nearly as much value as it could if Nerd was playing a different comp.
And I'm expecting a lot of aggression from WIA, regardless of attack or defense. You will not be able to tell whether they're on attack or defense, because they like to play every round hyper aggressive.
Hey, and that's a good thing. I mean, they're playing the comp that needs it, right?
Yeah, double duelist. It's the perfect comp for that.
Yep. And we're about to see that, because now we're just getting into the game. Split's a map where you like to see some extremely slow play sometimes. But this time, I think it's going to be a clash at the very least for the...
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Split's sometimes a map where you can kind of get polar opposites. Sometimes you can get like those super hyper aggressive, fast, like all four guys just rush and take A, or you can get like super slow and trying to play through mid, or like go from A back to B with like 10 seconds left on the round. So there's like a variety of different ways you can play it. But
speaking of, is this going to be an A fake?
Looks like we're starting out.
Oh, WIA is contacting. And Nerd being the ones to push up A main. Wow.
Yeah, meanwhile, WIA are probably just going to take a pretty open free B site. Grash to find one onto Kanui. Trade it out. 4v4. Right, bomb will go down though. Post plant.
Got a good flank though.
Two in male, 3 coming up through mid though. But will they be expecting this male setup from WIA? I don't think they are. Mozzie to find one, instantly traded, but will they clear out space? No. Finds the kill. WIA up in the post plant. It'll be a very, very difficult retake for Nerd. Oh, split. Crystal to find one though. Suddenly it is doable.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, Nerd to find another, and all of a sudden it's just alone on site. Tap with the spike, finds the first, cannot find the trade. It's gonna be Crystal with a 4K to start it off for Nerd.
And he gets the bomb off too. Wow, Crystal. As you said, Crystal can really start speeding it up. It's kind of a big deal, right? That Nerd is able to win this round, because it was looking a little bad, but now that they have this round on defense, they can build some serious momentum coming into this round. And what are WIA gonna do? Well, it's a full B hit, of course, because why not, right?
I mean, it is an eco, so I mean that's a strat I like on eco. Just all 5 send it down a site. Why not? I mean,
nice nade.
Oh, nice nade. Classic Underpeel mode. It's gonna be instantly deleted by Kamui. Trip to spot out one.
Oh, but
Scott to get the opening kill. That's bomb down. Post plan time. there are chances for WIA to get this 50-round win. This bomb down, but Prod, super wise, super aware, spamming the box to find Scott. Numbers disadvantage. Still in good post-plans position. A flash to come out. Ozzy to find one. Instantly trade out. Smoke to come out. Crystal will find another. Trades coming flying through. Defuse to be started. Being stuck. That is the round win for Nerd.
Crystal accidentally got a kill with the judge there. That was pretty funny. Besides that, I mean, Nerd had a bit of a rocky start to the retake, but they were able to bring it back, and thankfully Mozzie wasn't able to use that Bulldog to shred. Surprisingly though, WA on their buy round are once again hitting B. Five stack rush. Go, 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 right? It's the aggressive comp I thought it would be, that's for sure.
It looks like very stubborn in their ways, just hit B until it works. Gun advantage, Crash going in with the judge to find it. Instantly traded out by Crystal though, but Globe is there for the trade, and they will get the bomb down yet again, and this time they find themselves with gun advantage and man advantage. They're gonna have to pull out something absolutely unbelievable on this retake if they want to get this win and put WI on to an econ. Just as I say that, Icarus to find one to even out the numbers. Flash to come out, position noted, raise nade, spray, Scott to find the first, Annika to find the second. Icarus left alone, and the 1v2 is still doable, especially if he finds the first like that. Spike gonna be held down halfway. Icarus just gonna stick Annika to swing out. Oh my goodness. 0.06 left on the round, just barely. That is some huge economic damage to WIA though. They will not have a good buy.
Just a little farther. Icarus wouldn't have been spotted. Wow. What a close round. WIA
hold the line probably.
Rio Heaven?
With that, we are headed
just
to
don't get on this
clear
line. They
comms round,
stone
I
it. So I'll
think.
stone if they fight, okay? Just like.
Are we gonna push her?
No, go say it. Right? Okay.
Oh, okay. Stoning?
Don't push, don't push.
They're on site, breach.
Bad.
Wait, chill.
Chill. Not in yet.
On site breach.
7.
Yep, I got one.
No. We should just chill. I did not want to do it.
My bad.
There's like 3 here. Right?
Yeah. Let's just wait for Util to recharge and then we'll go. I stun in 5. Alright.
I'm close.
There's still one on
Carry
site.
smoke
Chris.
heaven and I can stun him. You'll have a stun ready as well.
Yeah.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Stunning.
Close to 2.
Spawn. I'm stunned. Breach is on site still.
Heaven.
Tail has after dead.
Oh, good one.
Breach is on site.
2.
30 seconds left.
One's going FNO.
Close. Hey, 1A, 108.
Last player standing.
Elbow.
Elbow.
You have to plant.
One enemy remaining.
Heaven.
Heaven.
Spike planted.
It's only one, then you know he's 7. Give yourself a sight smoke.
Oh, oops.
That's all good. That's okay.
Nice.
Oh, good. A little scuff, but we got it.
You called this elbow?
Huh? Elbow right here.
Oh, he was here.
Wow. Well, I mean, what a round, right?
Yeah.
Now, I mean, WIA able to pull through on the round, but finally opting to go mid for once. Finally, the exciting stuff, mid.
And most importantly, they have now put Nerd on an eco round. It's going to be the standard mid take. Usually see this on every split match. All 5 members just grouped up in mid. It's Cypher all alone in sight. The rest of Nerd are just sitting, waiting on A. Stun to come out. Looks like they're gonna start to accelerate into middle. Will they clear out Kamui though with this rookie? It could go absolutely huge. Oh, finds 2.
Spike down B.
Oh my goodness. Tucked inside the smoke. Finds a third. There's no way. Kamui on for the ace. What a play with the Bucky. Rash to trade out 1 though. 2v3 round is still doable for WI. Especially they can find another pick. Fight out in mid and Mozzie's gonna win it out. Numbers equalized. And Grash to find another kill. WI getting control back, and they're just gonna take the bomb straight over to A. They know that the only one left on site was Cue Ball. Gonna get
30
bombed
seconds
down.
left.
It's gonna be a 1v2 retake.
Yeah, this was honestly
planted.
already Nerd have done their job. They've gotten the damage, but Cue Ball with the Vandal now has a great opportunity here. If he wins this, he can put WA hard on the back foot, but the setup that Mozzie and Grash have got is pretty strong.
Yeah,
Mozzie's
great,
swing, really.
great spot. Info spot. They know exactly where Cue Ball is. They're in great positions on both sides of him. Just swing off of each other and get your free round when wait for tap. Stun. Beautiful info. Spotted out Grash to swing right after. And that was really, really nice to see from WI. I always love to see clean post plants and synergy from teams.
Yeah, that was honestly a masterclass. After spotting, being able to fall back like that, play the cross with the breach utility, Mozzie played that absolutely perfectly. But once again, WIA, they're going strong. They've got 3 rounds in a row now. And just like the 3 rounds in a row that they've got, it looks like they're going to be barreling through once again on A.
It's like the WIA strategy is just 5-man strong. Just 5-man hit something. It looks like this time it's gonna be A. They tried B at work, they've tried mid at work. Why not try A? 3 are stacked here for Nerd though. Not aggressive though. They should be able to take Lobby pretty free. Stun to come out, nade to come out. KO Rocks to come out, Scott to dash into sight, find 1. Icarus gets a nade kill. KO Wall to come out. On position spotted. Nerd Crystal will find 2.
1 enemy
And suddenly,
remaining.
it's a 1v3 after all the chaos. Scott's gonna have to do it all on his own if he wants to win this round. And he is not able to, as Icarus is able to pick up the final kill.
That retake by that flood by Nerd was perfectly timed. You saw when WIA hit, they were split up by Cue Ball's stun. Fikriz with his annihilation and salvos completely stopped any form of retaliation by WIA. That's the kind of round that I was expecting from Nerd when I saw their team comp. And now, I mean, WIA back to mid, back to business, right?
Yep. I think WIA, I think they're on the full eco. If I'm doing my mental math right, looks like it's gonna be a 5-man take. Crystal holding the pixel angle. Position spotted. Will there be aggression off of this? KO Rockets to come out. Asterisk to come out. That's gonna stall out any aggression. And Scott's gonna be fall. Raised it to come out though. Stunned. And Rash is able to finish the trade, but that should be a weapon down. But Kamui and Icarus are able to absolutely hold down B Tower. 3v4 for WIA. Rash to pick up 1 through the smoke though. Numbers are disadvantaged, but it's only 1 member down. Both players in mid. Icarus to take out Anna. And it's Rash left alone, and 1v3 finds the first. Bomb down.
Enemy remaining.
And he,
Oh!
oh my goodness.
Going for the ace.
Ace clutch. No! No! The Raze battle prod smartly pops ult to secure the round. And Nerd retake the lead.
Yeah, there it is. WIA halted in their tracks as Nerd. These defensive setups they're hard to push. You see WIA, their comp is made for these fast pushes. Nerd's comp is made for these holds. So when you have both combined, you have a hard time for WIA. And so I really think WIA is going to want to look for some more slow play here. Once again, they're contacting mid. Probably going to be spotted out by Crystal eventually, but unless...
Yeah, Crystal. I'm spotting mid, goes a little wide. Crash can immediately push up and find a beautiful pick. Cypher trips broken. That jump spot being a little wide is absolutely the key. Scott to dash up. Grash already in sight. Spotted out. Rechalk to come out. And WIA will take the site.
It was a perfect rolling thunder right there.
A bomb down, and WI will just get into their post plant positions. Amori out in tower. Counter breach shot to come out, but Scott's position not cleared. Ozzy to find one, Scott to find another 2v3 retake now all alone. Prod and Kamui. Wazzy to find another 1v3 left onto Kamui. WI just hunting him down. And we are all tied up.
Yeah, you see that once again. WIA absolutely annihilating mid. And that's really what you get when you play that kind of jump spot from market instead of from sewer. Because when you're in sewer, when you're in those vents there, you're not sewer, vents, you're able to spot everyone. But when you're in that market area, you can walk up, just like WIA did there, and slaughter you. But it looks like Crystal still hasn't learned her lesson.
Yeah. Crystal out in mail once again. But WIA are marching down, Crystal. You gotta get out of there. They're looking to take on Rash, pushing up again. Deja vu of the other round. This time it's going to be Annika to pick up the kill, but this should be WIA just marching into B-side. Another Bucky kill for Kamui. How are they getting away with this? But the rest of Nerd are far away. It's going to be, once again, bomb down. Another post plan in strong positions coming up for WIA. As once again, a member takes up that vent spots. Will Nerd clear it out this time? I don't think they will. Finds one, finds two, finally traded out, but that puts the numbers disadvantage. For Nerd, all three playing post plant. Grash to find another. It's Kamui left all alone. 1v3 bomb ticking down, and there's nothing you can do at that point. WIA once again take the lead.
Wow, that was once again deja vu, as you said. I think Nerd needs to learn their lesson and just put down a trap wire into mid. I mean, Kamui hasn't been getting too much value off of the trips so far, so putting an extra one down mid is exactly what they're going to do, it looks like. Perfect. Wow, I'm glad. But it's too bad because WIA is hitting A, so does it even really matter?
Yeah, they've WIA conditioned Nerd for the mid hit, and look, there are two there, but absolutely pays off as it's a 5-man fast hit straight up into a relatively free ace like Crash. The dash in, saving Scott. It should be pretty easy to get the bomb down and set up once again for yet another post plant. 5v5 retake. Strong positions for WIA. They have this ace site on absolute lockdown, spam through the smokes. Oh, but Q will not. Oh my, what? Oh my goodness. How did Q-Ball survive that? Maz to find 2 for the trade. 3! Find a third. 4! Oh! Oh my goodness. Oh my god! I'm speechless. That round looked doomed, and then Mozzie just said, nope, I'm him, and turned into Thanos. Absolutely holding down the ace site in that post plant.
Wow. What a round coming out by Mozzie. A generational ace there. 2, boom, 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 boom. And after that, Nerd, I've got to be trembling in the boots. they don't have the Cypher trap wire in mid now, and Crystal's back into mid. But with the judge.
But this time, with the judge though, so this might work out a little bit better, and it does. Finds one, traded out the trade on to Fraud. Cypher ult to come out. Position spotted. Looks like WIA are just gonna start grouping up back into B for a B split. Numbers advantage in favor. Weaker weaponry for Nerd. Globe just slowly clearing B tower. Cue ball just jumps on. It's gonna be a walk into sight. Oh, timing! Nicholas with the nice headshot finds a second. But reload and the trade for space. 2v2 now. The round is still winnable for Nerd despite the weaker weapons. That should be a gun for Kamui. And it is. And all of a sudden it's a 1v2 bomb. Still not down yet. Scared to come out, but the beautiful Cypher cage to provide cover finds the first 1v1 now. Cypher ult to come out from Kamui to spot the position, but it doesn't matter. Space, the low elo player, the bronze, will win it out for WIA and get 7 on the board, and they're starting to run away with it a bit.
Wow, 7-4. Already an amazing half for WIA coming on the split. You somewhat expect it with a comp like this to at least do 6-6 on attack. But getting 7 puts them in an amazing position, especially against Nerd's relatively defensive comp. And so they've been playing the map so well, though. They've been able to walk up, and Nerd have been able to do nothing about it over and over again. And it looks like this round might be one of those same rounds. They've sussed out that WIA are pushing mid, but what are they going to do about it, right? They don't have that stopping power that they need with something like a Viper or even a Teo.
Yeah, their comp... I think they're really missing that kind of Viper right now.
Yeah.
The orb, the wall, they just provide so much value, and WIA are just kind of abusing mid now. They've kind of figured out. Nerd have a weak mid, so why not just take it? They've been getting it for free most of the time, and this breach ult's gonna help it on even more if that combined with the Raze ult. Pale Rockets to come out, but Rash is gonna fire this off. Thatch allow as Space finds another, Scott to find a third, and WIA to dominantly win this round. And it's all left alone on Prod for a 1v5. Otherwise, this is going to be a 8-4 half. And Prod cannot do anything. A flawless round to close off the half. One in attack side.
Yeah, round after round there. Nerd have to invest a trapwire mid, but they did not do it. They were so averse to putting down a trapwire, despite the fact that not a single kill came out of their trips that entire half. That was by far the biggest mistake they made. They allowed WIA to take mid for nothing every round.
Yeah, but switching over to the defensive half, this is definitely the weaker half for WIA, but this pistol round is going to be really, really important for Nerd. I'd say this is almost a must-win, because if not, you're most likely looking at WIA already on double digits. Looks like it's going to be a slow default mid for Nerd. All 5 grouping up just like WIA did in mid. Cypher trip here. We'll see when they decide to break it. Looks like they're gearing up for a hit. Scott spotted. Cypher trip gonna be broken. Looks like they're looking to take fence control. Tail rockets to come in to clear out anyone who would have been hiding there, but it's not. They're gonna take the ropes. But Scott is here waiting for them. Should have heard that. Sees the head. Finds it. Scott to pick up the first kill, and that's gonna send Nerd probably screwing back into the B side, but Mozzie and Crash have both found their way into here. Raze nade to come up. Nerd to speed up into Mail, into B tower. But Cypher sees all of this, knows exactly where they are. It's just gonna take the time, but Kamui and Crystal to find kills. And all of a sudden, it's a numbers disadvantage. WIA, Mozzie though, finds one with the backstab. Grash just actually into site 2v3 post plant. Nerd are a little bit spread out, but do have all flanks covered. They just need to win out these duels. Q ball to find the first. Grash on extreme low HQ. Q ball to find another. And that is a much needed pistol round win for Nerd.
Wow. You saw how that slow play, just like Nerd, WIA had a much better mid setup, I think. They were able to put that trap wire, and they had someone playing Vince, which is an improvement already, but once again, when you don't have that extreme stopping power, what are you going to do when a team just walks up? You don't have any trap setups for mid, so because of that, teams can over and over again keep abusing mid. But despite that, Nerd is very simply going to contact A, which I think WIA is already sussed out, at least slightly.
Yeah, and it feels like both of these teams' attack strategies so far have been the same. Just like basically 5-man hit everything. Slowly explore mid, see what you can find, go through mid to B. Like, their strategies are pretty similar. Ooh, this. Oh, Prod to absolutely destroy Scott on the floor. I was about to say, this Bucky might be dangerous if they decide to take tower, but with Scott already falling, they're just gonna speed up into this A site. Cypher all alone with a classic. Can't do anything.
The Bucky!
Beat that, but Mozzie the Bucky Prod with the insta trade though. 2v4 now. Monocon low HP. It's killed and Prod's there to find the final kill. And with a pretty clean bonus anti-eco.
Yeah, this was quite interesting in my opinion, because normally I feel like a team comp like Nerves would be much better spread out in some kind of 3-1-1. Or even a 4-1 like they're doing this round. So I think this round could be very good for them if they can once again walk up well, right?
Yeah, and it looks like they're just doing the same thing yet again. Gearing up for an A split. 4-1 default coming out. It's gonna be a fast actual up the ramps for Prod. Cypher stun, not Cypher stun. A breach stun is gonna be absolutely huge, but Mozzie will be traded out by Kamui. Smoke to go up Cypher
4v4 all
cage
of a
up.
sudden.
It looks like Nerd don't want to do anything with A. They're gonna slowly start exploring other parts of the map. You do have Crystal pushing up B. We'll see if that's where they decide to end up going. It's looking like the team wants to start heading up through mid. Kamui's gonna join up Crystal into B, but that smoke's gonna stop their push up, and this round is slowing down to a halt.
Hey, as it should on Split, right? You have people walking up, taking mid space, and this is what the map's all about, right? Being able to walk through into events with all 4 of your players on your eco round. I mean, why not, right?
Smoke to go down. Scott holding a great angle with this. Oh, but can't find the kill. Kamui to pick up 1 number advantage. Annika is still here on this B side. Could hold it down, but Crystal with the ghost wins it out. Time is running low, but it's a 2v4. But Crash to fight 2. All alone, it's all space. Left alone, the 1v2 is doable. They have to get the bomb down space to find the first. Cannot find the second, and that's going to be a bonus round for Nerd.
The emote. Well, that round was absolutely amazing, but now we're coming into a clear comms for Nerd, starting in just a few seconds here.
Yeah,
So
I
message.
don't do that enough. I need to like smoke
Yeah,
my
or
site
like-
and then act
or
like
just-
a turtle.
Or just hide back side here, because like they're gonna swing into you, but they won't expect you to be on.
If they don't fight out, then we explode out B heaven again.
Okay.
Jet B man.
Just chill, don't die.
Yeah, yeah.
Ready? Can you
I'm a classic lurking
Missile,
Astra.
missile, this, and this. And then
Okay.
Go, ready? 3,
Ready?
2, 1, now.
They came from Swan. Outside's
My
clear.
smoke's about to start fading.
Mail's clear.
Flashing heaven.
Oh my god, I got owned.
Did they smoke this?
There is a gun on
Two main,
Jet man.
Omen and Jet main.
Okay,
Yeah,
they have
same
one
main.
vandal.
I'm gonna plant for Swan and flip the site.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, one main. He's holding it?
Two main.
I'm
Two
wrapping
main,
the
two
guy
heaven.
heaven.
Okay.
Can you live?
Yeah, I'm playing my missiles.
Satcheled out.
Tap.
Whistling.
I'm punching up on my body.
Heard.
Close.
That's a kill.
One enemy remaining.
Could be on. Off. Alright, nice trade.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. That's epic.
Fast use my ult. We do.
Wow. I mean, those are some great comms by Nerd. They have their synergies ready, and all of a sudden, despite being down 8-4, it's 8-8 now. And Nerd are still going. They've got so much momentum coming into this round, and WIA is forced on the half buy again. They have half shields.
Yeah. Looks like it's gonna be a mid push yet again, but a little bit slower this time. Out of Nerd. The boy gonna fall back. Astra ult is gonna be used.
Locating target.
Hail drone to come out will spot the two players out in mail, but there's 3 ready, and we're gonna have a huge flash up out in B tower. Flash, Omen paranoia, stun, but no action yet. They're not wanting to push up any further, just still slowly plotting. Flash to come out, Mozzie to fight 2. Finally traded out Nerd and Prod. Annika's there for the trade. And after all the chaos, Nerd, it's a 1v3 for Crystal. Finds the trade onto Scott though, makes it a 1v2. Annika's there,
my
can't
gosh.
find the shot. Bomb's still down, gonna be extremely hard to retrieve. Space and Annika just doubled up. Bomb will get smoked off by Crystal though.
30 seconds.
Will they
left.
expect
no.
it? Oh, now spotted. Didn't even manage to grab Bomb though after the smoke, and that should be the end of this round. Tried to smoke off and could grab it, but wasn't able to do so. And just dangling on the rope. Oh no, Crystal, what happened? You can add that one to the blooper reel.
That was a good hold by WIA, I think. The best thing that they did that round by far was they were able to fall back when they needed to, and they were able to push forward when they needed to. In mid, the best way to hold mid is to hold it in segments. You hold the first section with the Astra Smoke, then you back up into mail, then you back up one more time and retake, and that's exactly what they did. When, as for previous rounds, they hadn't really been doing that, and Nerd kind of realized that they may not be able to quite abuse mid nearly as much as they have been, so they're deciding to take a 3-1-1 default instead.
Looks like Nerd starting to congregate over to that A site once again. Crystal alone on that lurk B through mid. WIA holding pretty passively on A though. You do have Scott pushed up on B holding the angle. Looks like Nerd are going to be gearing up for an A hit. Probably will see the breach all used if they do decide that A is their final destination and want a big site.
Oh.
Crystal gonna note the opposite. Scott down, finds the kill through the wall. that should be the signal to probably speed up into A. Kamui to find another 3v5 now.
30 seconds left.
Space stunned up, but Nerd takes sight, get bombed down. It's gonna be a 3v5.
Planted.
With the rocket to come out, Kamui to find another. Rocket not finding necessarily the max value it could, and Annika all left alone in a 1v4 finds the first with 3 left to go. Position noted, and Cubo with the final kill, and once again we are all tied up.
I think Nerd has the contact so well done. Their contact plays have been probably some of the best I've seen in all of Underpeel so far. You saw how Crystal, taking that slow space, using the Aster Util well, was able to keep 2 players in WA all the way over at B. And that split up the rotates. WA could do nothing. And now this time, they're coming in for once another contact, playing slow. Cypher trying to tag the Cypher trip.
Yeah. I mean, if it worked last time, why not just do it again? This time the breach shot is going to be used. Oh, but it's going to be the aftershock to find the first kill on the product, completely halting Nerd's plan. Breach shot was already used. They couldn't find any value off of that. This eco round suddenly doable. Kamui does find the kill though. But do they know about Grash here? Scott's gonna find one with the blades. Numbers advantage in favor of WIA. Tail rockets to come out. Cue ball to find space. Vickers to find the kill onto Annika. Now 2v3. Nerd will get the bomb down on A. Blades still are up for Scott though. Round isn't over just yet. He find the kill on Kamui does, but Vickers immediately with the trade against Grash all alone in a 1v2. And Grash cannot do it. Vickers with the third of the round, and Nerd once again retake the lead.
Vickers, despite being a plat player, has played a very good game so far. He's able to find some really great value on Teo that a lot of other teams haven't been able to, especially on this split map. These pushes have been so much stronger with this Teo utility coming out, and it helps with the contact so much. Which, speaking of, this is a nice spot. It might be yet another contact.
And it looks like once again, oh no, it's not gonna be an A hit. It's gonna be a 1-2-2. Just start slowly exploring main. Grash is pushing up through mid. Timing. Cue ball to find the kill, and that could be the signal for Nerd to speed up into B. And it looks like that's exactly what they're doing. Just Annika and Scott left on site.
I know
exactly. But the op is here on B main, but the Cypher's gonna spot that out. So Nerd should know. Yeah, jump spot. I don't know if it saw Scott. I think it did, because Nerd want nothing to do with B main. They're just gonna link up with Kamui in male probably and try and hit this B site through tower. However, Annika and Globe do have a pretty strong setup here to try and deal with it. Astra Smoke, but Kamui shuts down Globe, and it's a 3v5. And they're actually gonna go straight into the A site. There's just gonna be space to try and hold this down. All 5 members grouping within the tower. Location revealed. Prod to satchel into sight. Bomb will go down, and WIA are gonna have to win a miraculous 3v5 post plant if they want to tie this game back up.
Yeah, they don't even have tower control.
The call's been made. It's gonna be a save from WIA.
It makes complete sense. I mean, that entire round was a I can't say that word. It was really bad for WIA. Grash pushing up mid there was not a bad read. You saw Nerd having a contact set up multiple rounds in a row on A. So assuming they do it again was not a bad idea, right? Gonna be a fight coming out by here? No, they are scared. And besides that though, that's why you don't push mid, right? It's a crossfire.
Yeah. Oh! Prod to find a kill. So they do. I don't know if that was the op. Was it?
It was
Couldn't
not.
quite tell.
Scott still has the operator. I mean, coming out this round, WA still have an op, and their A setup has 2 people, while their mid setup is actually looking rather weak. They only have one real player in mid here.
Yeah, but Scott has the op on A, and that looks like exactly where Nerd are thinking of heading if they don't carefully clear this.
He got
Scott
stunned
could go
out.
absolutely huge. Holding the line. Looks like Nerd might have the read. They're going to start slowly exploring mid. It's just Raze here. Out in vents. Timing could absolutely be huge here for Grash.
Nope.
Cue ball gonna flash up into vents. Grash just gonna retreat back down into vents. Looks like that's where Nerd are headed. Trying to find the kill with the shorty. Trying to find another. A site should be wide open as it's just Scott left here holding for it. And they don't know. Scott to find one. But Crystal's there to shut it down. Bomb's gonna go down, and this should be Nerd on match point.
Wow.
One enemy remaining.
You're disgusting.
Oh my goodness.
You can't do that. Wow.
Match point.
That was gross. That was a nice shot. But I didn't expect this, but WIA's comp may be so geared toward attacking, and their entire strategy may be geared toward attacking, that now that Nerd is playing a proper attack, they can't do anything. Nerd has had amazing context setups, great defaults, good fakes even. And what is WA to do? Flounder around because they don't have any traps. And even this round, where they're trying to swing off contacts, it's not like Nerd is even pushing mid, right?
Yeah. It looks like it's going to be a B hit. All grouped up just outside of B main. Scott's not here to hold this. I don't quite know what the money is like for WI. I think they should have a full buy, but I'm not quite sure. Currently, it's just Annika here on site. Hail ult to come out, all 3 ults coming out, and they util Annika stood no chance. Raze ult's gonna buy a lot of time. Plant will go down. Astra wall to come out, and this is looking very, very over. If I might say. Satchel shut down. Crystal will find another kill. It's all left alone, and a flawless to end it out. Nerd coming on really strong with this sub. Kind of surprising, making it all the way into, I think they're in the finals.
This is,
if I'm not mistaken.
This is the
winners
semifinals.
finals, yeah.
The winners finals, winners side finals, semifinals overall. What a map, right? Nerd. So beautiful on that split attack half. They were definitely playing like nerds. They didn't do a single 5-stack rush. They always played it slow, always played it methodical. Just beautiful. Mwah.
Yeah. And Granada have won as well. So our upper finals tomorrow are going to be Granada versus Nerd. It looks like the results are coming in SLR. Oh, we had a FF, it seems like. Yeah.
Really?
SLR through into lowers through a FF, unfortunately.
Wow. That's quite surprising. Do we have any information on why they FF'd specifically?
Nope. I don't know. I just know that in the sheet it shows FF win.
Apparently, we're getting that 2 of the other players just had to go for IRL stuff, which is fair
Ah,
enough, right? It's good to have a healthy balance because Underpeel really is not a job. It's not fully tier 1 professional players. You're not making money off of this. So if you have things to do in real life, it is good to prioritize them. So although
yes.
it is unfortunate for the team, it's still healthier overall if they don't skip their prior engagements.
Yeah, I'll always take care of Underpeel. I mean, life stuff over Underpeel.
Yeah, besides that, what a back and forth game, right? WIA had it there, but they slipped on defense.
Yeah, clearly 8 wasn't enough on attack with their double duelist comp to close
Well,
it out. They needed more.
so is the life of a double duelist, right?
Yeah.
I mean, in today's meta, right? With double duelist, you're looking for some kind of fast hitting plays. And WA had that on attack, but they had no traps on defense. They had no pushes except for 1 or 2 rounds. And so because of that, in the end, it unfortunately lost them the game.
Yeah, so but that means that we are headed into our final matchup for the night, INT versus FAFO after this short break, so make sure to tune in for that.
Yeah, keep in mind, this is in the lower brackets. It's lower second round because INT did lose to GRAN in the end. It was quite devastating as well, 13-3, which is the same exact score that GRAN had against CROC in the first one. But now Nerds going up against GRAN in the upper finals. So that's going to be an exciting game tomorrow. Or is that today?
Today.
Oh, I can't wait to talk about that game after INT versus FAFO, which we're going to be going into right after the break that we're coming into.
Welcome back, Underpeel.
Hello, hello. Once again, this is Masters 2 Day 1 of Underpeel Season 6. I am our host today, Brad, and I'm here with my co-host,
Alex.
Hey guys. We just came out of a really fun split match, but looking away from that match and looking into this next match that's coming up, it is INT versus FAFO. It's the second lower bracket match, and it's the final streamed match of the day. We already saw INT on one streamed game, but after losing to GRAN, INT is now playing once again on stream. So how do you think this game's going to be going?
I think this is in favored. I'd say it should be the favorites. I mean, everyone loses to Granada, so there's no shame in doing that, and they look really, really good in their first match versus a non-Granada performance. So as long as map bans and vetoes are good for them, I should expect them to do very, very well.
Still keep in mind that Fatal Force, FAFO, put up a very good performance against TOTS, who TOTS put up a very good performance against Nerd, which, if we remember how well Nerd was playing, I think in the end this could be either way, because INT just lost. 3-13 is kind of devastating. I mean, any team would be a little bit sad after getting 3-13, even if it's against GRAN. And so because of that, there is a very good possibility that INT is a bit dejected coming into this game, and having that kind of mental affecting you could be a pretty big disadvantage.
I don't think INT's mental would be, at least in my opinion, like if you're a team playing Granada and you lose, like even if you lose 13-0, I don't think there's like a shame in that. I think you should still go into your next match as long as like you still felt good about what you were doing. That like you should still feel confident, because as I said many times, Granada are like the best team in Underpeel now. I mean, they were like pretty much all throughout the season, but especially after the circumstances in the past 2 weeks, I think they're probably by far and away like huge favorites. Like as we would say about like VCT teams, there's like I think there's a pretty big tier gap right now. So I still think INT should be feeling super confident.
I think that's fair. And speaking even further into the future, though, if INT wins this game, it'll be a rematch against SLR, who, keep in mind, INT won 13-4 against. So keeping that in mind, INT really want to win this game, because if they win this game, they're playing against a team who they've already 13-4'd in this tournament. And so going into that, their confidence is already going to be higher, I hope. So overall, I think I agree with your sentiment about not being too dejected.
It will be interesting to see what the map vetoes are. I'm expecting Fracture to be banned by WIA, because these two teams have played on Fracture before, and INT absolutely destroyed FAFO 14-3. So
14-3?
I mean 13-4. I transposed the numbers, but you get what I meant. They should ban it, but I do know they're a team that really, really likes to pick Fracture as well. I don't exactly know the reason why. I just know they love to pick it, but if I were Fatal Force, I'd just first ban Fracture.
I was going to say the same exact thing. Exactly. I mean, fair enough. So since we've got those predictions in, why don't we actually go and see what the bans are?
Yeah, why don't we? And
wow.
I think this is a mistake from Fatal Force. I'm not gonna lie.
Fatal Force was the one who picked this map, though. So considering that FAFO was the team that wanted this map, what do you think about that?
I don't know. Unless they had the next reincarnation of Anders to come in anti-strat, like everything for them, I wouldn't see a reason why they'd want to pick this.
Well, let's see if they do have the anti-strats, because now we've got the agent select in. Wow, what a team comp. I love the Neon Brim combo, and I love the Neon Breach combo. What INT has got going for them here might just be able to push through FAFO's relatively strong team comp.
I love this in comp. This is my favorite Fracture comp. Like, ever since Teo came out, I love Neon as a character. I think she's so much fun. Despite the fact that I suck on her, she's absolutely amazing on this map. And, you know, this is just kind of the standard comp now. Cypher, Brim, Teho, Breach is just like the default on Fracture. Like, you just run that. You could also run the Astra as well, I guess, but I just think the Brim Teho Breach combo on Fracture, like, you just have to run that. It's just by far and away the best on this map.
Mm-hmm. And then finally, the Cypher is there to tie it all up, right? The lurker of the team, able to play with a Teo or even with the Breach on the other side of the map, able to take that beta side. Well, I think overall this team comp is very good, but looking toward FAFO, they have a very similar comp. 3 of the agents are the same. You have on both teams the Teo, the Brim, and the Breach, as expected, right? Those are the 3 pretty much meta agents on the map. But I personally really don't like the Vise pick here.
Really, you're not a Vise believer on Fracture? Interesting.
So
why is that?
Yeah, the reason why you want to use Vise a lot of times is to split up pushes, right? When you have Vise able to split up these pushes onto these sites, like take Pearl, right? Pearl B long. There's mini walls on Pearl B. There's mid-site walls, and there's the typical walls you play up front, and even further up sometimes, that all serve the same purpose of being able to isolate a couple people in the push, which, if you're a good Vise player, being able to play different walls at different spots is where the magic really happens. But in Fracture, when you have the ability to come from on A, 3 different directions, and on B, 2.5 different directions, if you want to consider arcade through there, then Vise doesn't have nearly as many options, right?
Yeah. I kind of see what you're saying. I mean, I don't know much about this game. I'm bronze, so I guess I'll just take you at your word, since you're the high elo player in my eyes.
Well, I mean, you do have good setups with Vise, especially her Thorns. Being able to set them up on multiple sides of the map, because you have 2 of them, is a big boon. And so I think it's going to be hard to play Vise, but we're going to just have to see, because now the game is finally starting. To start off the game, I think they're going to need to get aggressive, right? as you do on any attack. Oh my goodness, the setup by INT. Triple pushing. Quadruple, wait, no, just triple pushing sand. This is about to be a brawl.
They know what FAFO are doing. I think INT know that it's going to be a A-side crunch from both angles. They're getting hyper-aggressive. Splatter to find one already. Homester to find another. Darius to finally trade it out, but immediately it's numbers and... Ooh. Darius to find the kill, though. I was about to say number advantage in favor of INT, but Darius with now it's numbers advantage in favor. And as right in the smoke, Emmy to get the trade now in 2v2. And after all that chaos, bomb's gonna be picked up.
No, INT have the bomb. FAFO are the ones who need the bomb though, and they clear out all of this A main space. I mean, looks like Lemons is just linking right back up with Ghost, playing a good contact setup, and what is Indy and Gracie to do? I mean, they don't have much utility left, and Ghost has a ton, and Lemons has the cam for the contact. What the heck is that cam? Was that misplaced?
Oh wait, FAFO. Oh yeah, it's FAFO on the fence. The colors are switched, so it messed up with my brain. Thanks for the correction. INT will be able to grab the bomb.
No, they won't.
Or maybe not.
One enemy remaining.
Battle out. Lemons to find one, to find the second. And it's going to be the pistol round on the board for INT. Great start.
Wow. I mean, you saw that ping-ponging back and forth. Ghost and Lemons both dominant forces right there. And you saw that sand push was so strong by INT. And that's exactly what you want to see on Fracture. This is exactly what you want to see, is this aggressive play. But now they didn't have guns, they can afford a little more time to be a little less aggressive. It looks like all they're doing is pushing A main, which is a pretty typical play. On the other hand, though, FAFO getting a pretty aggressive on the A side, just farming orbs as you should. Looks like they're just trying to get Showstopper. Huh?
Yeah, FAFO are on attack.
Yeah.
I thought the colors were swapped for a second.
Yet.
Yeah, I mean, you see Darius has already gotten most of the way to their Showstopper. Only needs 2 more orbs if theoretically Darius can get a kill and the bomb. It could have, FAFO could have Showstopper here, but INT have 2 people placed into A main, so this retake isn't going to be easy.
But they do have gun advantage though. It is, however, it's just stingers and Lemons with but Lemons will find the upgrade. Spike ticking down. 4v4 post plant. There is a sheriff to work with on Darius. That is the person you want. But Lemons is there to shut it down. Splatter to follow up. 2v4 now. Gracie find one. 2v3 bomb ticking down, but Homster's there to clean it up, and Splatter's there for the trade. Although it is a slightly expensive round win for INT. Only 2 weapons retrieved, and one of them is just a stinger.
Well, sometimes that's how it is, right? FAFO played the round well. They were able to push into A and push up through the site, which was extremely important because INT, they had 2 people in A main, but when it's smoked off, it doesn't matter. And that's really why you have the Brim. You're able to smoke off 3 spots at once, right? Yeah. Besides that, this round, FAFO's coming in at the advantage this time. And INT deciding to do a typical setup rather than a silly one.
This goes here.
Yeah, really standard defensive positions, and it looks like probably an A hit tail rockets coming out to zone off Gracie. Looks like we're gonna have a clash on south side maybe, but no. Just back away. I mean, he's spamming through the smoke, finds Lemons in the tower. Booker's there for the trade. Gage to find a kill on to just go. And Darius to find another on to Splatter. Bonus going well 4v2 numbers advantage in favor of FAFO. They'll have a clean, easy plant onto A. Extremely hard retake coming up for INT.
Enemy remaining.
And
Here goes
Darius
Booker.
in a great position. It's all left alone onto Holmster.
Yeah, the best thing Holmster can hope is just to get a couple guns off, and nope. Gage with a good cleanup. Getting the round off. 1-2 now in favor of INT. FAFO have the guns. It's even on both sides now. Going to be a pretty even match, but because of the earlier farming, Showstopper has been farmed for FAFO, and Vizolt as well is coming out in 1.
Do you want to go for an insta-stun dish?
Bye. No. Can I bomb? Drop bomb.
3, 2, 1.
It's already in. I'm already wide. Any noise, Chrissy?
Nothing.
I've got drone whenever you want it.
Don't drone. We have contact.
Alright, I'm peeking.
One
main.
rope. Tower, I mean.
I'm holding main.
Do I smoke?
No.
I've got this line.
There was one tower, one CT.
Main.
Holding small.
I'm holding main.
Just go back B. No.
There's one tower. Got one.
We should.
Alright, I'm burning
Smoke
sight.
can we go?
Oh, I don't know if they don't.
One on site.
One tower.
Went into heaven.
Spike down A.
Shit, we drop bomb.
There.
Neon's on site. 30 seconds.
No smoke.
Smoke's about to go down.
30
from drop.
seconds left.
They're all here now.
Okay. I don't think Brim was there.
Peeking.
Last player
shit.
standing.
CT.
What is it? It's just Cypher B, right? Where's he playing?
Cypher Brim, I think.
Where do they play?
One of them plays tower.
Okay, we're
And
gonna
rotate, and
do
then the cam.
me, Darius, Lab, Arcade, the other two B main. And then we're gonna ult tower and run the shit down and win.
Cam is against this wall here.
I'm insta-stunning this box time. Can you do the molly for behind the box and one tower?
Yeah, I got you.
Do you want me somewhere? Sorry.
B main.
It's looking like this is about to be a heavy slam by FAFO here. And they have Orbital Strike, Showstopper, Vizolt, and here it comes.
Yeah, but it looks like INT are just gonna play retake, knowing that FAFO probably won't have the greatest supply smoke to go down. And I don't think they know Lemons is here. Booker to find one. Lemons is somehow find him. One through the smoke, finally triggered out by Emmy. Holmster's gonna pop me on but shut down by Lamb and Emmy. And all of a sudden, this round looks doable. 2v3 post-amp disadvantage for INT.
Spike planted.
All the ult's gonna be used to try and secure this round. There is still a chance for INT though. 2 members left alive, just Ghost and Splatter. But all of FAFO's members do have guns. Both members from INT are split up, but this walk-up from Splatter could go huge if the timing's right. I don't think Emmy knows that Splatter is here, so... Oh, Splatter picks at the right time or just goes... Oh, can't quite find the kill. Just goes... does find the kill onto Gage. 1v1. Bomb is ticking low, though. Hail rockets to come out. And there's no time left. FAFO are gonna get around. They do use all of their ultimates, though, but a round win's a round win.
Hey, you're right. As long as you win the round, get the eco up. It's great because if FAFO had lost that, they would have been on the back foot on an eco round. And you also have to remember that FAFO have the ability to farm orbs. This is the orb farming map, right? And INT haven't gotten nearly as aggressive as they should be. They've only done a main aggression, just like they're doing this round. So because of that, FAFO have access to 3 ult orbs. And they're very likely just going to farm Annihilation here for Lav.
Looks like we have once again a heavy B setup for FAFO. It worked last time. It looks like they want to go right back to it despite not having the ults. Emmy's gonna find an opening pick on the Homester numbers advantage in favor of FAFO, and that's gonna leave the INT defense in a very, very tough spot. Likely gonna have to play 4v5 retake here unless Booker and Lemons are able to find 2 back-to-back kills. Cypher's gonna be top for Lemons. They're gonna know all the positions, and suddenly it looked like could be a disastrous round for FAFO, for INT, I meant, ends up looking really, really good. And
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
scared
FAFO's forced to
FAFO.
rotate here.
Yeah, all the way back into A.
Hey, and because of Fracture as a map, INT's gonna rotate fast, so even though FAFO is likely going to get this ace site here, going to get a couple ult orbs off, Splatter killing Gracie the Lurker. Unfortunately for FAFO, they only have 2 players against 4, and they're planting
30
safe.
seconds left.
Yeah, they're gonna have a really good retake. Stun should provide the info. Should know where one player is, all grouped up. Emmy's gonna have to go huge here from main. Ult's gonna be used. Booker's gonna find 1. Emmy's gonna find 2 though. Position noted. Thorns are still available. Splatter's gonna tap the bomb. Will Emmy peek out of the smoke? No, still waiting for another tap. And Booker just spams through the smoke and finds the kill, and INT get 4 on the board.
I believe Emmy's gun peeked out just a little bit that allowed the spam to come out. Wow. Once again, that was a great round by INT. After the first pick had come out, they were on the back foot, but able to find those 2 picks back to back like that with the perfect lurk or wraparound by Lemons, won them the round. And it's looking like, despite the fact that they're not changing up their aggression much, being able to control A main is already a big boon, and especially since FAFO isn't really fighting back. But this round, it's going to be a bit different. They've got
FAFO are on a full eco. I mean, they do have Raze ult and Breach ult, but I doubt they're probably going to use them unless they find like a really clean opening pick with no trade. Then I could see them using the ults to try and win the round. But Holmester's in a great off angle here as all of FAFO are walking up. Yeah, finds 2. Oh, doesn't quite find the third. Just goes is the one to find the third, but that's round over instantly. What a great position from Holmester.
I agree. I mean, really, on Fracture, what you want to do on an eco round is one of 2 things. 1, farm ult orbs, or 2, do something weird like 5 push arcade. When you have 5A main like that, when you know that INT has been pushing A main, it doesn't really do much, right? And so just like that, Emmy falls. And Gracie very likely doing as you should, farm ult orbs, right? But
yeah.
Gracie doesn't have
That's
much
just
time.
the smart thing to
30
do.
seconds left.
One thing I kind of wish, like, I always like to see something in CS that a lot of teams do that I kind of wonder why now teams don't do it, is like they'll just walk around the map like talking about what to fix basically slowly as all 5 members, like essentially as a mini timeout. And speaking of which,
they're playing,
we have one.
who is it? Neon Breach A main with Tejo and Tower, and then they just have Brim and Cypher on B. B is easy as fuck if we if we stun A main and like try and show that we're fighting that still, the Brim's gonna rotate off of B. We just have to worry about the Cypher wherever they're gonna play. Yeah. That's kind of all I have. That's what they've been doing the last 5 rounds.
I think you guys just trade util for a bit, and then let me work up like arcade or something like that.
Yeah, I think we go me, Teo, A main. We'll do like Molly Sun combo. Darius and Gracie go B main, Emmy go arcade, and when the B main player rotates, we just take B.
I will say, be careful. They might just switch it up and
And that's it right there, right?
Yeah.
Not a bad timeout. FAFO's got a good plan. They know what to do. But despite that, INT is changing it up, and they're pushing B main this round.
Just as Concrete said, they're probably going to change things up. Looks like FAFO probably looking to just farm the alt orb on B again and then go from there. A much different setup from INT this round. They're going to be basically playing total retake, playing for fast rotates. Homester and just Ghost, though, are starting to push up B. If we could... Homester wins it out! Huge opening pick, despite being on 30 HP. And that's going to prompt FAFO to probably try and speed up into the B site, but it looks like they're second-guessing themselves. Don't quite know what to do yet. Finally now, Brimsmoke's going to be sent out. They're going to get plant down, but they're going to be at a numbers disadvantage for this post plan, and Homester to find another. It's going to be extremely hard for them if they even get the bomb down at this point, which at this point, yeah, they're not. Lav's probably just going to save.
Yeah, hopefully Lav is able to save, able to get an orb here at least. Oh, never mind. Lav already has Annihilation and still hasn't used it for, what, 3 rounds now?
Left.
Honestly, going into that round, FAFO had a good plan. But I think to beat INT on this map, one strategy that honestly I'd use is just a 5-step rush team. Right?
Yeah.
They haven't tried it. They haven't tried many 5-stack rushes at all, and you know what? That might be exactly what they're missing, because they've been playing too slow. I mean, honestly, on this map, both sides need that kind of aggression, and they're not quite getting aggressive enough. And that is partially INT's fault, because INT is playing their... Ghost is playing Breach well. And Splatter's got some great Teo salvos coming out, so...
Yeah, FAFO once again gonna be on an eco round. And we'll probably get up to 7 here. And just like everything that FAFO has tried to do just really hasn't worked. Even that timeout, as Booker finds 2 on the B site, the bomb just absolutely stranded.
Look at this lurk.
Probably gonna find another on this lurk. Here's all of them going across the road. Splatter to pick off them, as well as Homester. It's just an absolute slaughterfest. And if not gonna lie, if I were Darius right now, I'd just hunker down inside that A site and hide. Try and waste as much time as possible, because this team needs answers. They need to talk, because this map is starting to look like the last matchup. Does find one though, but you know exactly where he is, and Lemons is able to finish it off. 7-2 lead now.
It's looking worse and worse for FAFO. I mean, despite being called Fatal Force, they're the ones who are fated to lose this game so far. What they're doing is they're defaulting when INT has got everything on lock. They just need to 5-stack push. They're just... Even a fast split like this has a great chance of working. So we're going to see how the round plays out. FAFO's going to need to change something up if this split doesn't work.
Well, it looks like they're trying for Oh, they are changing it up. They're going in under. I think that's called that tuber is that under. I don't know what that's called, but Aeol's going to be used. Booker to shut down Darius. Despite the takeout cutting off sight, Booker's gonna find another. Booker gonna find a third. Oh my goodness, Booker an absolute raid boss on B, and it's Lav left all alone. It's 8-2. Booker with a 4K. Oh my goodness.
Wow. What a round by Booker. This whole game, he has been devastating FAFO. You saw just 2 rounds ago when FAFO had the 2 lurkers with the bomb in arcade, and Booker shot them both down again. And once again, it's this split pressure that's not working. But you saw there when FAFO tried to push B main, they couldn't do anything because they don't have the entry capacity. They only have a raise, and Darius wasn't even there.
Oh, instant stun coming out from Holmster. Somehow manages to stay alive. Splatter to find 2 with the There's absolutely no way.
Holmster stunned them,
no wrong.
and then the salvos came out with Splatter.
Oh, was it
perfect.
A breach? Was it a breach?
It was a neon stun, even better than that.
Oh, it was the neon stun. I completely forgot. That was beautiful util layering, excellently executed, and this should be died on the board for INT. Splatter to find info, knows Darius's location. Rest of the members just playing safely. Tap with the spike, all coming. It's all just absolutely perfect harmony. Despite Emmy getting that kill, Hale gonna come out just to be sure. Rockets to come out. A bombardment of util, 45 seconds left. Spike down in an absolutely horrendous spot, and Darius is gonna have to go absolutely huge there. Does find the first though. Round is a bit more doable.
Showstopper.
Gonna be caught. Reach flash.
Oh!
Does find
Oh!
one tower.
Player standing.
Emmy. 1v1 now. Booker, the raid boss of B, versus Emmy. Who will win? Now Booker's been playing absolutely terrifically so far. Spotted. 14 seconds left. Stimpy kid to come out.
10 seconds
You
left.
gotta get bomb down.
Bomb is
Plant being
down.
stuck. Does Booker know? Emmy low on HP, 16 HP. Has to win this 1v1 if FAFO want any chance. The Tracers will spot out the position. Spam coming out. Oh, this Molly. This but Emmy wins it out. What an amazing round coming out from
Last
Emmy.
round before the switch.
And use all their alts though. And this could be an
what a
2v4
2v4
half.
What a 2v4 that could really put FAFO back in the game, because we've seen over and over again getting dominated on these floods and on these hits. And finally, when they get around, all they need to do is get one more and they're in the game. But now FAFO, going for that same default that they've done plenty of rounds before. And Booker, once again in that arcade, ready to slaughter.
Will Booker once again be the raid boss of B and absolutely mow them down? Will they dare exit that smoke and step into his territory? Jump spots coming out. Will note many players. Information being relayed. Emmy with a lurk into A though could provide huge value if the timing works out right. Both teams kind of just waiting to see what the other's going to do. Emmy does find the pick, but instantly traded out by Splatter. That's going to be the signal though from FAFO to head over.
One suppressed.
No, the rope, Lemons! Look behind you!
Lemons!
What?
Spike down A.
To find one bomb dropped in a horrible spot. Lemons the cage in a great position now. He's going to have to buy a bit of time. Lavendarius though to find 2 kills, and after all that, it's going to be in down members. Flat out blown in a 1v3 cannot do it. It's an 8-4 half.
Wow. What a round by FAFO. Lemons had a perfect flank through A. But then took the rope and somehow Gage didn't see him. That was a clinching round for sure, but now that FAFO are on defense, now that INT is finally off of their terrible trade and in defense, what do you think FAFO needs to do to get these rounds up?
I don't know. It depends on the INT attack. I think this INT attack is going to be very, very strong. It's going to be well rehearsed, well drilled. So I honestly think that Fatal Force in some ways might just need to like shoot them better. Because after all, this is an FPS game. You get shot, you lose the round. You get shot, you die. As a famous caster once said. So honestly, what I think they have to do, util spam coming out. Emmy to find the first pick, that's good. Lose advantage down in favor, but Holmster evens it out. Bomb looks like it's gonna be heading down onto B side. Holmster in a great position right here, playing around this brim smoke. FAFO are gonna have to go on the retake. Bomb ticking away, strong post plant positions coming out for INT. This battle on the north side is gonna be absolutely huge between Darius and Booker. And Booker,
One enemy remaining.
2v2, one enemy remaining.
One enemy
Lemon's
remaining.
not spotted. A little bit whiffy, but still gets the kill. Tap with the spike. No cam to spot it out. Cypher cage though for Lemons to play around. And Darius wins it.
That shot was crazy. Did you see that flick?
A much needed pistol round. That was an insane flick. And FAFO are starting to make a comeback.
Just like that, 3 rounds in a row. 1, 2, 3. And FAFO are back in the game. They are gonna be able to get this second round most likely, as long as INT don't have a disgusting eco round. But coming into this round, INT looking like a simple A push because FAFO, they're not the ones getting aggressive on A. They're not. Their aggression is not nearly as good as the aggression with the Neon.
Looks like it's gonna be just a 5-man last hit for INT on this eco round. Immediately stalled up by the util.
Look at where Darius is though.
With a judge.
He's
Might get spotted out. Yeah, will get spotted out though. That's gonna be the cue for Olmster to start accelerating, but Gage is there to shut it down. Spots out multiple players all alone. Oh my goodness, just goes to find the kill, just goes to find 2. Wow. 3v3 now, weapons retrievable for INT. This round is doable. Absolutely. They know that Ares noted in Sands, and they're going to be heading back to B, and that's the site with Emmy. Emmy tapping orb. You gotta pay attention, Emmy. Doesn't die though. Positions noted. INT are gonna start to accelerate into the B site. It's Emmy all alone here. Ball's gonna be triggered. Swing out Booker to find one with the judge. Gracie to get the trade though. But they're going back. Oh my goodness.
Hey, and with the stim beacon down, they're gonna be able to get us A site for free.
Yeah, wonderful calling. Coming out of, I don't know who called it. I think it's just Ghost. Probably
look at that.
To call
They've
them
got bomb
back.
down. FAFO
They've got bomb
all
yeah.
the way on B site, and Lemon's gonna be able to spot out one player, possibly get a kill, possibly get killed, definitely get a
Great
kill.
position. Ooh, can't get a kill.
Yeah.
Left alone on just Ghost, but does have a Bulldog and is in a great position from main for post plant. Has full util up, stun, aftershock, 2 flashes. Just Ghost has a great chance to win this round in the 1v2 clutch. Stun to come out, flash,
sticking,
bomb being stuck, another flash, and Gracie's there. Just Ghost swinging out off the flash timing.
Drink some water.
Expensive bonus round though, but FAFO get to 6.
That was definitely close. I think the decision.
Okay, guys. I just want to call because we need to reset. Like we started trolling and then now we've lost 4 in a row. It's a close match. So, the main thing is, I think we need to we just need to relock in. Like I think the people who are dead we need to be calming there. It's like a 2v2 situation, very winnable. And Breach has full util. We cannot let Lemon solo push into their spawn. You know, the dead people need to be backseating. We need to be actively engaged in the game. And so, just take 10 seconds, do whatever you need to do to focus, and let's just close it out here.
Thank you, Adrian.
Hey guys, if I tell you to do something, don't take it the wrong way. I wanted to tell you Lemons not to push, but I didn't want to make you upset or anything. So
no, I won't be.
Take 10 seconds. Take 10 seconds. Take 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Dude, I swear to God, from now on,
Breathing exercise, boy.
Yeah, there we go.
Interesting timeout coming from the GOAT Breach player, Woodrow, coach of INT.
Too? No, it's not. Okay. Yeah, for sure. I just lock in basically, right?
I found it interesting at the end how they were saying if I tell you to do something, like, kind of just don't take it personally. That was pretty interesting, like, comms to hear.
Oh my gosh, Lemons!
Here.
He
Oh
didn't
my
get the kill.
goodness.
Darius with a fucking perfect
No,
time.
he'll still get the kill. Lemons is good for the kill. Darius to fall down. Numbers advantage of INT. Smokes to go down. It should be sight for them. They should get bombed down. We'll play this from post plant. Brim Molly to come out. Just goes to find another kill. This round's looking great for him. Up 2 members. As the storm settles, Booker to find another through the smoke. Spike ticking away and a basically impossible retake now for Gracie and Gage. Gage though will find one with the sheriff though, but still a lot of work. Gracie to find a second. Hold on. Lemons though to shut down Gracie, and it's all left alone onto Gage in a 1v3. KL Rockets to come out and push him off, and this round's done. This round's in the bag.
Nice shot, though.
Finally stabilize and get to 9.
Hey, well, as you would hope, right? You'd hope to win that 3rd round, but now coming out, right? You have an equal buy from both teams, pretty much. So FAFO's gonna need to do a lot. They're gonna need to fight an uphill battle here to get through this wall that INT is, right? INT being able to play the Cypher here is, to watch these flanks is so strong. Now it's just going to be a pretty slow play here by INT and FAFO. Able to push Darius up sand, but are they ready for Lemons to be sitting there?
Probably not. Looks like INT are gonna start to try and take A, and they have taken A already. Tail Rockets will delay plan for a bit, but Holmster's there to find one, Splatter to find another. Lab with the trades though. Even numbers advantage. Spike is down. Booker to finally shut down Lab. And it's all left alone on Gracie in a 1v3 position. Spotted. Plant will go down. Cypher Kate to come out. Gracie to find the first. Now a 1v2 now. Still difficult, but it is definitely now doable still.
I believe Booker was back there playing lineups, but came back once another teammate died.
Will Gracie know about this position from Just Ghost? No. Didn't get to double digits. And they're starting to come back into form after looking shaky for a streak of rounds.
Hey, well, there we go. There's the INT special. And speaking of the INT special, we're going to get to hear them in this clear comms round coming out right now.
B main rocket, D main rocket. Let's just do it.
Yeah. If they push us fast, that's bad for them, right? Because we're just gonna speed up the other way. We're really good at doing that.
Everyone's one off ult except for their breach.
And they're broke.
If we hit B, I can ult site. Okay, we
also broke.
Go.
Alright, go B.
Yeah.
My favorite.
We can Tehoe.
And go.
I can flash you outside.
Smoking.
Flashing side.
Not long. Nice. Just gun down, run.
Brim done.
Let's have a couple people go main. Oh, in our spawn,
One flank.
Keep arcade.
I'm going tower.
I can molly off mid.
So I'm smoking there. You should just ripple. I don't care. It's eco. If you want to, you should.
I don't think I'll.
Yeah, all out.
Go ahead.
Pushing site 1 right now. Nice.
One enemy remaining.
One in the smoke.
Nice. Well done.
Good on.
Got blinded. Yeah, whatever. We use one ult. We have every other one.
Perfectly played.
Holmster is so good at Neon.
Take A main control again. They still have 4 ults here. Could get their 5th as well.
Yeah. They'll have their 5th.
Expect them to try and play heavy retake probably. So if we plant like site, let's really try hard to get into main. Okay.
Yeah. I have ult to fight back. Like
same on A.
If they use anything.
As we come out of that clear comms round, this is kind of a must-win for FAFO. They bought into this, and if they lose, they're going to be a horrible weapon beyond match point.
Well,
Grimmel's going to come out immediately, splatter to find the first pick. Neon Wall's going to come out, stun. Tail Alt's going to be... Ooh. Gage will find an aftershock kill, though. Ulster's on side. Gage to shut it down, though. Numbers disadvantage. Reach out to come out to stall out these attackers. Lemons finds a pick onto Gracie. Numbers back even. Flash comes out. Lemons to find another. Emmy though is there for the trade, using the Vice ult, and it's all left alone. Just Ghost in a 1v2, and he cannot find the kill. FAFO stave off match point.
We can stand around all day.
Just like that, fighting it off like the plague. I mean, INT on Fracture, it feels like it. It's almost inevitable that it's going to come for you eventually. That you're not going to be able to win all these rounds, but FAFO's got a good start. And I think they finally figured out what they need to do. They need to get aggressive, and they need to push A main, which is good by them, right? Darius was unfortunately picked off early, but that's not going to be able to happen every round.
It's like it's just going to be a slow round coming out of the start from INT, just trying to gather some information. Lemons is going to be on the lurk north side.
Darius, don't peek through that door.
Slowly walking up through A, does peek through the door, just goes to find the kill. Numbers disadvantage, but Lav's able to pick off Lemons on the lurk, and I think that's going to send INT running back towards B.
Yep.
However, that is the correct call, as Booker's going to trigger this wall probably, and they're just all going to group up, probably push through it. They know it's there. Yeah, 3, 2, 1, jump over. They're going to get bombed down. It's a free site, and we're going to have a 4v4 post plant.
You can see those Vise nerves.
Spike planted.
Those thorns not left.
Jan want to come out. Holmster to win out the battle. A huge fight. 3v4 retake for FAFO. Strong post plants positions. Holmster and going back into main. Lab to the pick off Booker in tower. Holmster's there for the trade. The timing though, Gracie will find one of the areas, but just goes for the trade back as well, and Splatter to pick up the final kill, and INT on match point.
Yep, like I said, the plague. It's all inevitable, and that round, it was a masterclass by INT. You saw just how fast you're able to get those rotates out if you have a lurker. And even though Fracture is a map where the defense can rotate very quickly, it doesn't matter if you don't rotate. So FAFO, they're just not fast enough on the uptake, and INT are so reactive on this map. It's honestly amazing.
Looks like we're gonna have an arcade crunch from INT, and FAFO fighting for their lives on limited weaponry. Oh, the slide in! Holmster finds Emmy a great opening pick all the way onto site. Pushed up, catching FAFO up completely by surprise. 3v5 retake, numbers advantage of INT, weapons advantage of INT. This should probably be the end. Splatter to find the second, and FAFO slowly starting to crumble, slowly starting to fall apart.
Unless
Darius though will pick off Holmster. A little bit more doable. 2v4 is still quite tough. Darius needs to find this pick onto just goes in tower, and he will. 2v3 now. Round is doable. Booker though will find Lab. Raise out to come out. Finds nothing. Roses does find the kill though. 1v2. Time ticking. Finds another. On for the ace. Time's ticking low though. Does Splatter have rockets? Yes, he does. Sticking. Unfortunate. And INT. I'd say a really, really good performance, despite being shaky at times. Seemed pretty in control of that the whole way through.
Well, what do you expect? It's INT on Fracture. I mean, like you were saying earlier, right? This isn't a pair of team. This isn't a team that is going to be able to get pushed through on Fracture, right? They had a few shaky moments, but when they were told to lock in, they locked in. And what are you going to do when you have a team that knows Fracture so well that you can't do anything if you don't have the proper calls? And when you looked at FAFO, they really didn't do anything but push A main. They had one round where they pushed Dish, and they won that round when they pushed Dish.
Yeah.
But besides that, there was no creative aggression. There was one B main push where, unfortunately, the entirety of INT had gone through arcade. But besides that, they were just scared, and rightfully so. I mean, they were getting obliterated by INT the whole game. So
yeah, I don't think the scoreline reflects how close this game was. It felt like INT were in control like the whole way through.
I definitely agree. Despite near the half point of the game, them losing 4 rounds in a row, it didn't feel like they had really even gotten to the point of being able to lose. Just because INT, once again, showed such mastery over the map. And today I think we saw 2 really great teams on their own maps, right? You saw Nerd on Split, what a masterclass. And INT on Fracture, what a masterclass, right?
Yes, Granada also, I'm pretty sure, played Split, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, Granada just wins their game, so I mean...
But yeah, Split is one of, like, Granada's maps, so that's another team who won on a map they're really good at. I remember playing INT on Fracture. I can tell you it was not a fun experience.
I was there. Oh, wait, was this the 4v5 game?
No, it was not a 4v5 game. It was 5v5, but the scoreline was like 13-3, I think.
There was a 4v5 game that Lag played on Split, I remember.
But once again, I go back to the map vetoes. I still don't understand why FAFO didn't ban Fracture. Like, I said it as soon as I saw that this was the pick. I was a little concerned, and my concerns were 100% accurate.
Yeah, sometimes that's how it is. And you've got to remember that not all the teams do a ton of research on the other teams. I feel like being casters gives us the advantage of having watched a lot of these games. Well, this is Underpeel, right? You don't. A lot of teams don't have time to watch other teams' games playing, especially because there's 12 other teams besides you. So because of that, it's at least somewhat expected that it was picked Fracture. Because honestly, FAFO was probably comfortable on Fracture, so the Fracture pick probably not banning Fracture was probably not a terrible deal for them in the moment.
Yeah, I guess, but I just feel like if you've already lost to a team, like 13-4 on a map, I just feel like, and you're playing them again, it's a high stakes tournament, right? Losers out. Like, I feel like as soon as you start to lose, like, your mind would probably immediately start going back to that match. Like, you'd start having flashbacks, so...
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how it is sometimes. And in the end, bye, Terry. In the end, that's kind of how it is, right? You don't need to pick certain maps, and this time, well, they definitely didn't need to pick Fracture. They needed to ban Fracture, really. But in the end, a lot of Underpeel games go that way. They go ways that you don't quite expect, or even map picks that you don't quite expect. I mean, we've seen plenty of crazy picks over the years.
As a a certain song once said, "We've tried so far and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter."
That's if you're playing against GRAN. I mean, they 13-3 2 rounds in a row, but I mean, in the end, it's okay because
yes,
this was losers bracket, but you always have the opportunity in champs later. So what I have to say to FAFO is keep going, keep improving, because all of the teams in Underpeel this year have extraordinarily improved. And so when you look at it that way, right, that Underpeel is more about improvement rather than about winning everything, then I think that's where you get the most enjoyment out of it. And so because of that, it's great that INT will be able to rematch against SLR, but also that it's an improvement game.
And speaking of which, I think we should quickly talk about our matchups for tomorrow before we head out.
Yeah, sure.
We're gonna have Granada versus Nerd as our first matchup. The winner of that will advance to the grand finals, which will be held Sunday. And then the loser of that match will play INT. Both will be BO3, I believe.
Wait, both will play INT. Do you think INT is just going to win against SLR? So SLR is playing against
right.
INT before
I made a mistake.
to see who the lower finals will be.
I made a mistake. I did not see that matchup. Sorry, we'll have Granada versus Nerd, and then SLR versus INT. And the winner of the SLR INT match and the loser of the Granada Nerd match will play each other to decide who goes to grand finals.
Yep. And that's it right there. Those are all of the matchups for tomorrow. And then grand finals is held all on a day of its own, Sunday.
Okay, and I'm being told that it possibly a BO5, depending on the teams.
Well, if we get GRAN, they want a BO5. They just want to beat a team 3 games in a row. I won't lie.
I really hope we get to see a BO5. BO5, I think, are absolute cinema and show like who the best team truly is in a matchup. So I really do hope we get to see a BO5, especially a grand finals. I think grand finals in any esports deserve BO5s.
If not BO7s. We should add a BO7. Terry, if you're listening in, we've got to add a BO7 and you need to cast it.
No, this isn't. Oh wait, I think Overwatch does BO7, right?
Yeah, Overwatch does BO7s.
This is an Overwatch. I think that would kill the entire production team. I'm not gonna lie.
It would kill Terry. But either way, today was a very good day. There were some very good games. And I suppose that's about it for today. Once again, this was Underpeel Masters 2. And this was only day 1, so remember to tune in tomorrow and Sunday, both around 7 p.m., 8 p.m. Eastern that we're starting.
Yeah.
Have a good night, everyone.
Have a good night.